this. And let's do this. And then let me sort out all camera stuff, because I'll have to readjust. Let's do all of this good business. That looks like Wolfie. That looks like Wolf. So if I go over here, how does that look now? Okay, that doesn't look quite right because it looks like we are missing. So this one over here says Tribe Talks Chat.
Did Karth just like join chat? He hasn't actually said anything.
I mean, he's kind of maybe here.
Okay.
Which I think is okay. He's just kind of here. He's kind of here.
Can you like real quick just get a picture of like a whale with a top hat?
A whale with a top hat?
And a monocle.
And a monocle.
And then just put that in.
Sounds perfect to me. Hello, Bubba Joe. How are you today, good sir? Just getting things set up here while Carthrick gets ready.
Okay.
Grabbing a snack. Don't blame you. I am a snack.
Hold on. Going to copy image. Okay. Just put this over Karth's face for the time being.
In real life?
Yes, in real life.
Okay. I'll try my best. I mean, that is the perfect image, I think. Perfect image. Oh crap, I'd have to paint, boom, crop, file, save as PNG, Carthrick. It's the Carthrick PNG right there. And then over here, if we just go ahead and go like this and put an image in, and then find the Carthrick image. It's Carthrick. Who else but Carthrick? Okay, now I need to get rid of it. Hi, Carth.
Howdy.
I need to probably as well. Stop that. Just stop the music. Don't just stand there.
Please don't stop the music.
Oh, wow, we're getting karaoke Carth. I like it. Karaoke Carth is the way. Oh.
Jam out with something while you're painting walls.
Painting walls. How did the wall painting go, Carthrick?
Incredibly frustrating. The
Sick.
roller kept coming undone under tension, and so the rolls kept dropping.
Okay.
So,
right.
like a roller, like you'd use.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah.
Anyways, the pins came undone. The roller falls out mid trying to apply paint to wall.
What, like the sleeve is coming off the cage of the rotor?
Pretty much, yeah.
Nice. So that sounds messy.
Incredibly frustrating when you're working in a finished apartment.
Well, now it's too finished, you might say.
Yeah. Now it needs more, so.
Yeah. Good times, good times. Welcome, everybody. This is Tribe Talks. We're a podcast. We talk about Galaxy of Heroes stuff.
God damn it, I was muted.
Oh, Wolfie, I didn't even realize. Damn it, Wolfie.
Nerd.
Are you live on YouTube? I'm not seeing you on YouTube.
Oh, it should be live on YouTube. Let me just double check. Yeah, we're live on YouTube.
You are?
Oh.
Okay.
No, it's showing as unlisted
No?
on YouTube. I hate it. Sometimes this happens to my YouTube streams. It randomly decides, by the way, I'm not going to actually put your show out to public. It should go live now.
Okay.
Good times. Thank you, Wolfie. I appreciate you.
No problem. I like to open up both the chats and see what's going on, and I didn't see no chat.
And there was absolutely no chat.
There was
just
nothing. I was looking into the void.
Screaming into the void, in fact. Yes,
One
that's
could say.
what one might say. Yes. Right. Okay. So here's
One might, but should one?
well, should two. You know what I'm saying?
Shit 3!
Shit the bed.
This is about Galaxy Heroes. I'm out here. Plain Bubba Joe, don't worry. We try to avoid talking about Galaxy of Heroes as much as humanly possible on this Galaxy of Heroes podcast.
Well, exactly. The Galaxy of Heroes side of things is just the bait to draw people in. And then, and then we do the old bait and switch, and we start talking about, I don't know. Well, guys, what are we going to talk about today in Galaxy of Heroes terms?
That is a damn good question.
I mean, we've had the pirate error battle. That's the new stuff. It actually showed up.
I'm almost done with the Thano.
Nice.
I got
of the bonus
so
drops?
many Athano shards. Yeah, I got so many Athano shards. I've almost got him at 7 stars.
That's sexy.
Quiggold is still fucked, but I got a lot of Athano shards. So
Yeah,
he's
but-
doing good.
That's still good. That's still good. Are you like nearly 7 stars, maxed out, ready to take him straight to Relic 9?
Oh, okay. Look. Relic 9? If we're talking about like the Relic mass and that sort of stuff, and like the Electriums and the Zim, oh yeah, sure, problem. Relic 9, I got it.
No problem.
If we're talking about signal data, then I'll talk to you next month.
Yeah.
Because holy shit, the amount of signal data crunch I'm going through right now, it is absolutely insane. It is absurd to the next level. I can't get anything above like Relic 5 right now because it's just like, give me a few days, because I'm not going crazy whaling on stuff. All right, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I'm not spending tens of thousands of crystals for signal data for whatever bullshit. I'm not doing it.
Hey, dude,
It's crazy.
I made the very, very clever and sensible investment of spending 15,000 crystals and all of my gear and all of my relic data mats and all of my stuff to get 2,000 crystals back from that one time that they let us do the top tier of the pirate era battle.
That sounds quite sensible.
Yeah, I think it was a worthy investment. Yeah. The numbers,
Something like that.
the numbers aren't numbering right now.
The
But
math
hey,
ain't mathin'.
the math was definitely not mathing. It was not. But Carthrick said that, currently it was bugged and the OG Hondo, if you have him at Relic 9 and the rest of the characters are Relic 9, it seemed the game is like, oh, you have Pirate King Hondo. You can do the top tier. And I was like,
Well, was it?
yeah.
Yeah, it was.
And then
it was. Cool.
And they patched it within like 2 hours. But I got it done in those 2 hours. So I was like,
Perfect.
Carthrick, how very dare you? How very dare you tempt me? You dark mistress.
Listen, you might make back part of that on the new pirate video you made for the raid.
I mean, let me count the pennies.
Listen, if you break them down to pennies, it's a lot to count. Okay?
It's a lot of
That's all I'm
pennies. Well,
saying.
to be fair, I didn't actually spend any real world money on it. I just spent all my gear and 15,000 crystals, which was a lot of crystals. But so far, I have recouped in a month's time. Let's check out the analytics over here on the pirate video. No revenue from that video because it's been out less than a day. But the regrets video, I have made okay. No, that's not too bad. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I'm happy about it now. I made $60 off that video, so yeah, that's fine. We're okay. Not complaining.
Listen. I might lead you. No. As I told you in your Discord, I might show you the dark and wary path that one can travel. You chose to walk it. That's all I'm saying.
I did. Yeah, I did. It was definitely painful, and I look at that and I think, I still don't have like an R9 Slacker. I still don't have an R9 Jabber or an R9. Well, I'm not going to R9 JMK. Well, I mean, I could, but
You should.
I don't have. There are GLs in my roster that are not Relic 9, but there is also Smee and Captain Athano and Kix, and those are Relic 9. And I don't even know what life is anymore after that. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Yeah.
Respect, because I mean, they're like the pirates and everything. It does sound like cool. I don't know about Athano and all them, but Smee, Relic 9, respect. Okay.
I mean,
I think he deserves it.
Goddamn hard. To be fair, he does hit hard. He's
he's the
fun.
new punch bot.
He is Punchbot V2. Yeah, and we're getting Brutus next week. So And he looks like he's going to be pretty... That team's going to have a lot of damage behind it. I'll be honest. Between Ithano, Smee, and Brutus, and I know they're going to split off into different teams later on.
Yeah, I would say Ithano will be on a different team.
But in the interim, there's going to be a lot of damage on that team comp. Because Brutus ramps quite a lot of damage. Captain Ithano now ramps a lot of damage. Smee already does a lot of damage. It's like, okay. They're going to hurt. So that's good.
It's for the better, though, because that team doesn't seem like it's made of much else, mechanically speaking. All the teams that don't have like Terminator loops or ways to like pass turns around, they all suffer the same thing, which is if you go first, you win.
Don't let him go first.
Are you factoring in Maz to that team?
No.
Well, Maz will split that
to that consideration. So you're saying. I mean, you're saying like pirate teams without like Terminator loop, whatever leads sort of stuff. I'm saying I haven't looked at Maz's kit very much. Does he have that sort of stuff? And then the obvious other point is, GL Hondo will come out, and who the fuck knows what he's gonna do when he takes his team. So
GL's kind of break the rules on what their functionality is, because you're manipulating a stat that most characters can't have manipulated unless they're on a GL team, which is mastery.
Yeah, your mastery shit. Yeah.
So. It's hard to say what that will factor in for, but like with as hard as these guys hit, their problem is they have gotten, it's like hard for them to get in front of other teams. Anybody that can get in front of them can just nuke somebody out, because there's not really reactive taunts on Quiggle that makes him
he does drop his taunt quite a lot.
Yeah. And so his whole thing is there's going to be retribution and stealing the taunt, but if the other team doesn't have a tank like CLS, there's no taunt to get around. You just wipe it off with CLS's first special, and then you just go blow up the board. I mean, it's not going to be an incredibly moving team until we get more mechanics.
I also don't think that the Kix FDC that we got, I don't think that's going to move the needle in that respect.
It's a joke.
It's
the
like
Kix FDC is a joke. It's not bad. It's just it's not moving the needle in any which direction for the team. And it's like, cool, yeah.
And the stats are really kind of mid.
Yeah,
they've spread them out so long.
Defense.
Yeah, but it's like it's the values that's the issue. They've split like there's like 4 stats, and they're all like 60, 70. It's like
it's 80, 60, 40, 60. Potency, health, tenacity, defense. It's all shit.
Yeah.
Now, if they wanted the Kixcron to be bananas, they should have given it the same level 3 as the Rolocron and just slaved it specifically to pirates. If all allies are pirates, whenever a pirate ally uses an ability, all pirates assist, and then you would have had a fun time with that team for the next 4 months. But with the Kron is like, whenever they get a buff, that ally gains 5% turn meter, limited once per ally per turn. It's like, what am I gonna?
Thanks for the 5% turn meter.
Now, on a team like Slacker, where that mechanic of gaining and losing turn meter, it could be manipulated to the benefit of the team, that meager amount might have an effect. But with this team, I can't see. There's no really triggers for turn meter, so it's just like okay.
Don't use it against the Ray team.
Yeah,
I mean, you might have some problems.
more than one.
Yeah.
Like I said, we'll have to see when the second half of the Pirates and everything comes out. So I guess at this point now it's confirmed Brutus does not have a lead. So I guess Silva will be the temporary leader for the second half of the Pirates until you can get the Galactic Legend Hondo out. They
literally designed out 4 teams for Pirates essentially, because you've got 4 3v3 teams and then the 2 5v5 teams.
Yeah. I'm sure it'll all go swimmingly and none of it will break.
Sure it'll go all the shit, but here we are.
What I did notice when I was like, I've got R9 Pirates now and the Rays launched. I'll see how Pirates operate at the top tier, and they're fine, right? They're okay. They work. You can clear it. It's not too hard. But they've actually fixed the Pirate modifier now, because it used to not do the 10% true damage when you gain profit, which is like the faction modifier for Pirates. It's a really shit modifier, I'll be honest. It's like, if you have profit, if you gain profit, you dispel the debuffs on you, And the next time you use an ability, you do 10% of your max health as true damage to the target enemy. That never used to work, the true damage. The dispelling of debuffs used to work, but the true damage just never triggered. And now that's fixed. And you're like, yay, I do... All right, cool, I'm doing 15,000 true damage at the Relic 9 tier, and they've got like 200,000, 300,000 health. It doesn't really make a huge difference, I'll be honest.
Well, and they've outright said, though, that we still don't have Hondo's modifier for the raid, which I'm assuming...
But like the hero benefit
Yeah, the
thing.
hero...
Yeah.
But at the same time, we can conclude for the most part that the GLs don't really need the modifier. Their team is so strong on its own right that they're just gonna... It's just gonna be like, oh man, you could almost press auto if there were certain mechanics that would allow
and this is the weird thing, right? It's like, I'm not... Well, I probably will R9 GL Hondo because he's a GL, so... Right? But I mean, I don't need another pirate team. So do I really care? I don't need another... I don't need another team full stop. You know? Like, I've now got 4 Relic 9 teams.
Yeah.
It's
but I mean, to be fair though, the clone team I hate. Like, it's nice to have
the trio, the undersized.
Yeah, the split. It can be
it's
done
a pain in the ass.
in a couple of battles, or it could take you 30 minutes of retries.
Yeah.
It's not what I would consider a good time, and I'm okay with having another option for it.
Yeah.
Using different.
It sucks ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wolfie saying it like it is. No, I'm pretty sure last time... Well, the thing is that the real question, the real problem is, if you don't have R9 Bad Batch, you don't want to run Bad Batch because they're fucking awful in the raid. But you also don't want to run the clone trio.
I'll say running Relic 7 Bad Batch at the Relic 5 tier is pretty easy.
Okay.
That was pretty smooth.
Yeah. No,
the Relic 7 tier is not bad either. It's the R8 tier that's just atrociously bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
The R7 tier, there's a little bit of RNG onto does Crosshair land those early hits and start getting those stacks down in time to kill off the ads. But that's about it. It's not terrible. It just sucks that, again, it is another factor that is 100% RNG based into the raid, and that's part of why you look at CG. You're like, you made a mechanic that goes, hey, if the target's marked, this minus 200% accuracy thing gets cut to minus 100%, and then you can kind of work with that. And then you're like, yeah, but if he's under R9. Forget about that. You can't mark them. It's just like, what? Why would you do that?
Like, I've reworked my Bad Batch strategy at the R8 tier to make it a lot more reliable now. And so I basically it comes down to the first move of, if Batcher lands the 2 stacks of bleed on Fox at the start, I know I'm good. If she doesn't, then I just restart. Because that's kind of like the depending factor of, do I kill Fox quickly enough? And then I've got a setup which will get me around to taking out Apo then quickly enough. But I mean, sometimes you can still have some fuckery. Like, for example, there's a point in time where you can call assist on Crosshair, and if he misses, when he's got like 11 stacks of shaken, it makes it more difficult. Like, you want him to land it, and he's got a pretty good chance of landing it with the modifier, and if you've got accuracy on his arrow, he's almost certain gonna land it, but he can miss it, and if he misses it, it kind of fucks things up. But other than that, it's okay. I just really don't like the team. Like, I don't enjoy it in the raid.
I feel like the Bad Batch was a backpedal. They never intended it to initially be a part of the raid, and then they realized they weren't going to get everything out. I feel like somewhere the ball. I mean, I can't say that for certain, but it just feels that way, because it feels like the Bad Batch are so penalized for being a part of the raid. They just don't function.
How dare you invest in this new team?
Well, they said like they had originally intended like something for the Bad Batch to do, like some legendary or whatnot,
or
and
event,
then they ended up like like some event, and they ended up like not being able to do that. They didn't have the time, so they had to scrap that. So it really just feels like they were shoehorned into saying, well, you know what? we need some incentive to force people to farm in the Bad Batch. We need some reason for people to get it, and making them a raid team is that incentive, is that reason, is that, all right, well, at least it's something. You know, we can shoehorn them in here over here and they can, you know, get that shit done. But it definitely didn't feel like that was the original intention for them, which again, they sort of admitted on their own. Yeah. So, you know, I'm not really sure.
They did also do they did a bunch of bonus drops for all the Bad Batch as well, which really helped people get a shitload of shards right before the raid dropped as well. So, I mean, there was some incentives and stuff, but just not a particularly enjoyable team in the raid. No, they're not. They're actually pretty good. Yeah.
Overall, yeah.
It just sucks that their raid viability was just throttled incredibly hard. That's the only part that kind of grinds my gears. It's like, well, it's a good team, but you know, R9 and you'll breeze through it.
Guys, honestly, just R9 them.
You might cry quite a bit.
Hey man, if the Bad Batch had error battles, then maybe I would have R9'd them. Okay. You know, that CG knows the secret sauce for me, at least now. It's like, hey, give us some really nice juicy error battles and Scribe will R9 a bunch of crap. I was like, yeah, sure.
Well, the one thing that was nice with this one is they did make it an R9 investment to get the droid brains back, but they also, in the same stride, allowed us to access that without having Hondo, which I'll take that trade. That's not a bad trade to have. For this particular one, so I'll live with that. That's fine. But the man alive, it's still a lot of investment for.
It's a hell of a lot. Yeah.
For basically not really. I don't know how much it'll be worth it. Well, it depends on what they end up doing with these characters.
It really depends on the player, obviously. But as I was talking about earlier today, I don't need another team for the raid. There'll be some people that are like, yeah, I'll R9 it because I need another raid team, but I'm at the point where my guild destroys the top box of the raid, smashes through it. I'm already well above max personal crate. I don't need another team, so that value is not there. We
Mr.
already know
fucking whale guild over here,
Mr. fucking Big Balls Whale Guild over here,
flopping that big old whale dick on the table. You know how it be.
And that's how it is. The big old sperm whale over here. Yeah. So, like, there's obviously going to be some people that need the extra team, but that's not why I was investing in them. And they don't seem that great in PvP just yet, even with the focused Datacron designed for the team. So it's like, meh. I don't know. It's just kind of weird. I wouldn't want to feel like every single error comes out that I have to R9 like 3 to 4 to 5 characters because error battles. I don't really want to do that.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is the error battles are a massive incentive to do it. I did like this one. Still feels like you could like this. The pirate error battle, I feel for the most part, you could get away with three R9s and get maxed out that last one. 3-star that last one. I would say that is feasible.
It is, yeah.
Not great odds, but better odds than finishing that R9 tier with CX2 and Apo. You know, for their era, which was basically like, do you evade?
Yeah. I mean, you could absolutely do it 2-man, but because I did, I managed to 3-star all of that error battle. It was horrendous. It was, hey, do you like leaving an autoplay and coming back every 3 minutes or so to restart this event for like the next 8 hours? And I've got the event for you. How much do you hate Jocasta Nu? How annoyed do you want to get at Keller and Beck constantly leaping on your Lord Vader? I was like, fuck, Beck, hit someone apart from Lord Vader.
Yeah, please and thank you.
And why do they have 2,000 speed?
Yeah. Well, and that was kind of the thing, right? Like that one was annoying, but like that one, even with all 4 clones out, was still a bit of a shit show because if Jocasta got to ramp too long before you could peg her down, she would just kill everything, right? Like with her big ball.
Yeah.
So that one sucked. This one, I think you could easily do the R9 tier with the Thano, Kix, and Quiggled. I think with those three, that is a reasonable. It would take a remod. It would take a few attempts.
Yeah,
but that was
it's definitely
reasonable.
doable. Yeah.
With
100%.
with Smee being able to be there, which that was really nice of them to let us have that. That made it really easy to go through. I don't know if the fixed Smee being there or not. I don't remember.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, I don't know because I just simmed it afterwards.
Yeah, I don't remember. So if anybody in chat wants to let us know on day 2 if Smee was still allowed, because I thought that was they kicked him out because he wasn't supposed to be there. But I'll tell you, having Smee there did make it a much easier because it just allowed to spread the damage around a little bit.
He spreads the damage around a little bit, and he also has the I kill 1 unit button as well, where he just does that first special and goes and does like 7 instances of 75,000 damage. You're like, oh, okay.
Limb from limb.
Yeah,
I fucking love Smee. He's awesome.
Smee's great. Smee is great, and his animations in the game is also really cool. I like how when the battle starts, he grows like an extra 2 foot. Just goes.
They've done really well with animations like recently. They've had a lot of really fucking good ones. Like, just throwing that out there. I know it completely completely aside over here, but like the art team, you know what? Top notch sometimes.
Yeah.
They put some really good work in.
They do.
So,
They put in a solid shift.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So,
That is for sure.
Yeah, it's good times. Overall, I thought it was fucking great watching veteran smuggler Chewbacca hit my Captain Athano for 500,000 damage. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then so he dies, revives, and then veteran smuggler Han AoEs for 200k and kills Captain Athano again. I'm like, oh, okay.
Well, that unique on him with the modified stats was like, man, can we go back and just give the veteran smugglers a little bit of this base stat increase? Because
that would be nice.
Christ, I would love that.
It was fun, and the funny thing was, it's still that was still the run that I 3-starred the node because Kix obviously lets you revive, and I was like, oh, okay, I recovered. And then Smee does punch things and one taps the veteran smuggler Han Solo. You're like, yay. Oh, it's good stuff.
Day of life.
Yeah. So, Brutus on Tuesday.
Yes, Wolfman.
Exactly. Your people are in the game now.
Coming out. Finally, it's happening.
Yeah.
Now all we need is Commander Wolf, and then we're all set.
Are there any other wolves that we could get in the game? Because then we need a full team of wolves.
I mean,
and then you make it happen.
You would be obliged to set full teams of wolf on defense every GAC.
Yes,
technically,
even if there's no synergy, I don't care.
Especially if there's no synergy.
Let's rework Plo Koon, and then give him the wolf pack.
Yes, give him fucking wolf pack. Oh my god,
I'm totally missing the context here. What?
The Plo Koon's group
was
also known as the Wolf Pack. Because of Commander Wolf was his battalion leader.
Was his right hand man.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. Now it makes sense.
Was that actually Wolfpack? I don't even fucking know. I just know his lead was Commander Wolf. I was making that up.
That was their nickname.
Oh, they're actually called Wolfpack? Nice. Okay, I was just making that up. I didn't actually remember.
No, 100% was their thing.
Accidentally correct.
Cool.
The best kind of correct.
Yeah, because I knew his commander was Commander Wolf over there. I know he spells it wrong, but you know. It's okay.
Yeah, but where's the 5 Fs, bro?
He's got an E on the end. Like, what the fuck is that? What are you, French? Come on.
It's a silent E.
Add the Lothal Wolf. Oh my god, Old Geezer is right in chat. Get the Lothal Wolf. Yes. And Wolf Yularen. Wolf Yularen. Oh my god, we can make a whole wolf pack.
There you go.
Oh, this is amazing.
Right, we need to get on to CG about this real quick and be like, now listen, we've got a unique opportunity here to create something very special. And they can have to tag the wolf pack, I guess.
You know who would be the GL to lead the wolf pack?
Oh, who?
Smudgy.
Oh, well, obviously. Yeah, GL Smudgy. Yeah. He could make that happen. I tell you what, that cat has been a menace the last couple of days. Because he's figured out how to open the food cabinet, and he pulls out sachets of food and rips through them and eats them. So, yeah, we came back after being out all day, and there were like 4 empty sachets of his food and one extremely happy and content cat. I was like, for fuck's sake, Smudge. So we had to move his food cabinet, essentially, or move where his food is stored to a different cabinet. Naughty little cat. You little fat bastard.
That reminds me of Winston.
Not Churchill, guys.
We left like a 50-pound bag of dog food on the floor because he hadn't bothered it until then. Anyways, gone for like 4 hours, came back, and he looked like a pregnant cow. And it wasn't until after I fed him dinner that I realized that he had gotten into the dog food and probably ate about 15 to 20 pounds of dog food.
He's like, I have 0 regrets.
Oh, dude, homie was throwing up about every 2 hours on like clockwork.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah.
For about 6 hours straight, and then he threw up right before I went to work the next morning. I mean, because it's kibble. Kibble will just take any liquid and it like triples or quadruples in size, and so like his stomach just couldn't hold it after it started absorbing all the liquid, and so he just started vomiting everywhere.
Mate,
I know. It's like, and the problem is though, is that he still didn't learn a lesson from that. You leave him food out, and he will consume until he physically cannot stuff another bite inside of him.
Mm.
Oh, he learned a lesson, just not the one you wanted him to learn.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, when I throw up, I've got more space for more kibble. Yeah. Smudgy did something very similar with that with Dreamies years ago. He managed to knock over a box of Dreamies and spilled them all over the counter, and he just went to town and ate crap loads of them. And I was like, Smudge, that's like so many calories right there. And he was just walking around the lounge literally like a couple of hours later, and he just goes, and then just goes, just massive puddle of vomit. I was like, yeah, now I have to clean that up. Thank you.
What a lovely cat.
Yeah. Cats, I mean, who are we to judge? Sometimes we overindulge as well. Maybe not in kibble. Maybe sometimes in alcoholic beverages we overimbibe, and we end up in much the same state.
We do. And I'm not here to argue the point. I just, some days with them, I'm just like, I don't know why they have that desire to just consume until they physically can't move.
Yeah, it's a good time for everybody involved. It's a good time.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of, Vin is asking about the Scavenger Ray DC. Have you guys managed to roll a Scavvy Ray DC yet?
I
don't know why I'm asking Carthrick.
I haven't done any re-rolling yet. I have 2.
Oh, right, okay. 1 for each of your Scavenger Rays. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've just been rolling them up as we've gone through. Usually I stop somewhere around 15 crons for the first one, and then farm the rest
like all the FDCs as well.
Well, that was easy to do though, because 2 of them were significantly cheaper than the other ones.
That is true. It was easier this time, to be fair. Yeah.
That was a nice change.
It's what's allowed me to get as many regular crons as I have this go around, because I didn't lose like 30 million on the 2 FDCs, like for Wampa and Sortie. They only cost like, what was it, like 11 million to do instead of 30. So there was like 40 million data cache. I didn't lose into that, which that's like, it's like 6-ish crons that I could get to level 9 to get the difference. So right now I am at 18 level 9s.
Oh, nice. I think I've got like 6.
But I haven't done any rerolls yet, except for 1 cron. I rerolled the level 6 off of Ewoks to Resistance, and then rolled it to level 9.
Because who's going to do anything with Ewoks? Well, I mean, is it the Chief Chirper one that's the mass revive?
Yeah, Chief Chirpa's the mass revive. But I mean, I already have 3 Ewok crons. I've already got 1 with Chief Chirpa and 1 with Nisa, which are like the only 2 I care about. And then I have a low grade cron. I'm like, well, between all the rerolls I have available, because I haven't done anything on them yet, I'll just get the difference of whatever I need when I can reroll the mats, because like the after the last set dusted, you know, I've got 1,500 of the Mark 1 reroll mats, and I've got 2,500 of the Mark 2 reroll mats. So the only thing I got to do is drop a few thousand crystals on some Mark 3s just to kind of reroll some stats and go from there.
Yeah,
but I mean,
I don't have a few thousand crystals anymore, Garth. I spent them all on gearing pirates.
You know how you solve that problem?
These things happen.
Make more videos to earn more money to spend it on crystals.
Yeah, exactly.
Or have more Friday night streams.
Well, I mean, either there's two options. There's two ways to solve that problem.
Have more Fridays?
Yep. We only got one Friday, so that's the only problem here.
Get a second liver. I think I'm going to need one. That much is true. So, yeah.
Quite possibly.
Yeah.
You're going to have to learn some new techniques on how to drink more.
Drink more, die less. Yes, that is the secret. That is the secret.
Get into a little bulimia.
Well, that's one way of looking at it.
That took a turn?
Yeah, that took
Throw up, drink more. I know plenty of girls that did all that through high school and college.
Fair enough. Wolfie,
not that we're encouraging that.
Absolutely not.
That.
Absolutely
It
not.
was specifically for drinking. It had nothing to do with how they...
Which technically is much better, but it is different.
No.
Nothing to do with them trying to be skinny. It was just because they wanted to keep drinking.
Yeah. So Wolf, did you manage to get many DCs this go round already?
No. See, I'm we take the off week of GAC to like sort of decompress a little bit and fuck around and do as little as humanly possible. So I'm always very far behind on the Datacrons, and then I spend like the next 3 weeks of GAC going like, God damn it, I should have spent more time on fucking Datacrons. What fuck you, Wolf? What the fuck, you're an asshole. And
Past
then
Wolf, you're a dick.
Yeah, and then we just like throw some more shit at the wall and realize that it doesn't actually matter all that much, and we do some science, and it's all good. And everyone's happy and move on with our lives. So we'll get some Datacrons, we'll get some stuff. I got some of the focus ones going, so.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty much done with all the focus Datacrons. I think I've maxed them out apart from the Rolo one, which I think I've taken it to like 7 or something. It's like, I got the level 3, that's all I really care about.
I think I got like one of the armor pens, and then I sort of stopped there. I may go for like the extra defense, but I sort of stopped around that point. But I got the Wampacron. So
nice,
yeah. I think you can stop very comfortably at 11 with the Rolocron.
Is that the defense level?
The 10 is defense, 11's the 35% additional health. So
okay. That's quite nice, yeah.
That caps you off at 100% health and 100% defense for the Cron, and then you're only missing half the critical avoidance and then 40% armor pen, which 80% is still good. So, but beyond that, it's not, Captain Solo's abilities, kind of whatever. Rolo could be kind of fun just to abuse in general, but I feel like the way you abuse the Rolocron is by shutting off access to level 3, which is counterintuitive. So I don't see that happening.
It's a little bit weird. So I've got one stick ray Cron. I don't think the stats are so great on it, but we did have a question around how you thinking of modding her. I was thinking you just make her damage and fast. Like, she needs a turn. Let her hit something.
Pretty much.
The question that I've had is which resistance, what team does she work in well with? In TW, it's easy. Juhani is the easy go-to, because when any of the with her Omicron, when any of them take a turn, they all assist, and so she's just going to be causing all kinds of chaos there. There's a chance you might split that up, but
so she doesn't even need speed at that point.
Not really. She needs to be survivable for TW, because she's not like, doesn't rock a ton of bulk.
No, she is very squish.
For GAC, it depends on what we can do to get her a turn, because it's like she could be fun with like Finn Zori and just flop the turn to her, or give her some turn meter, just have her go bonk things on the head and kill it. So that could be fun.
We do enjoy bonking.
We like a bit of bonkage, yeah.
but I don't know if she's going to be powerful enough to want to split into any generic light side team that can hold her.
No,
That's
I don't
kind
think
of
so.
where my head goes, because I'm like, I would love to see there be some viability with GL Ray so that we could do something else with Ezra. But I think as long as we've got this massive defensive cron from the previous set, I think Ezra is still going to find himself consistently hanging out with Ray for 3v3 at least. So
does Stick Ray function on a Zori team?
Yeah,
she doesn't not function, I guess.
Okay, I forget. I know she had like some weird Ray stuff. I forget if it was like the GL Ray and that sort of shit. I don't look at the resistance kits very often.
I think it's around the leadership with Zori.
Zori's leader. Yeah.
Okay. That's
Zori only looks for the leadership.
Okay. That's sort of what I thought. I don't keep up with the resistance kits very much, admittedly. But I mean, she could be decent over there.
Her kit is, if the leader is an unaligned force user, she shuts off a lot of her unique bonuses.
Gotcha. Okay. So I mean, so Stick Ray could still work on the Zori team then.
Yeah. She can still work
definitely.
there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ben's the one who looks for any Ray as the leader for his unique trigger, and then that's about it. For uniquenesses in the resistance faction, but Ben's not resistance, so.
And that is ever a source of consternation with me. It's like, just give him the
annoying.
Goddamn resistance tag, please.
I mean,
when you need to do like full resistance feats and stuff.
Yeah, for Ray herself, it didn't matter, but like for everything else we use the faction in the game for, it's just like, can we just be like, all right, in all PvE environments, Ben is considered resistance.
That would be very nice and handy. Let's get that change pushed through. Thank you, Garth.
It would be much appreciated. Oh my god. Just like why? Just for simplicity's sake, because the amount of times that they will do tags just for simplicity's sake. I mean, why the hell not? What is going on? What is the problem? Why is the opposition to this exist? It would just make things so much easier. I don't think it would affect game balance really all that much.
Well, you're not going to be throwing Ben in the Finn Zori, are you?
Cool. What?
Yeah, you're not going to throw him in like a Finn Zori team because it's just like, it would just feel a bit weird because there's no Ray leadership.
Just give him a clause. Just give him the lead, clause, though. If Ray is in the leadership, he gains the resistance tag.
Yeah,
like they've done with so many other characters.
Yeah, exactly.
In the game,
like they did with fucking Lobot. Lobot has the droid tag over there.
Or Zalbar with his Omicron.
Why the hell not?
Yeah.
What's the problem?
Exactly. CG, make it happen, please. It'll make me a very happy little scribble if you did that.
We like happy little scribbles.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
It makes the world go round.
So I genuinely don't know where I'm going to throw Stick Ray in threes. It feels like a lot of the resistance is kind of like in threes, is quite tight. Because I don't think Finn Zori Stick Ray is going to work so good.
Not great, because you need to get turn, and since it might do well in week 1, where people are still working on getting their 25% turn meter crons, but it's just going to be hard because it's very hard to protect her long enough to get her to take a turn. And then the thing is too is that we don't quite know how that damage is going to translate out. It's going to be much lower, right? It's going to be much lower in 3v3 because you're missing 2 additional characters to ramp the damage output, which is significant.
Yeah, that's a lot of relic levels that you're losing over there. If the damage is based off of the whole relic levels of the team, then that's a big chunk.
I'd love to see how much damage you can put out in a full R9 team. That'd be wild.
Oh my god!
I'll let you know.
I'll let you know. You're telling me you got an R9 Stick Ray, Garth?
No, I don't. But I have.
Not yet, I don't.
He's like, not yet.
My entire resistance faction is R8 plus, so it's it would be fairly close. I could add 100% more damage, but if you adding 100% more damage on 1,000% doesn't seem really meaningful.
No, probably not. But it all counts, Garth. It all counts.
It all does,
technically speaking.
Yeah.
So I'm not quite sure where I'll stick her yet either for threes. There are options, but I feel like the resistance is lacking so many leaders that you just chew through the good ones too quickly.
Yeah.
So that's my only net negative here is I don't know how I get her to take a turn, because like if she has if she's gassed up enough where she can like, you know, use one of her specials and basically just wipe somebody off the board in one hit, then, you know, she can be a lot more vulnerable on a team and not need like in three, like not have like a tank or someone to protect her like Zori does with the stealth of the attackers when they fall below 100% health. You know, that might give her some viability, but outside of that, it's just like if she's a glass cannon, then she's going to be on offense for the most part.
Yeah,
it's going to be too hard to protect her.
Well, that's it, you know, because I feel like if you throw her in a Ray Ben team, I think she's just going to die immediately, or she'll get controlled. You know, like
she'll get controlled. Yeah, there's nothing.
She'll be stunned or ability blocked or something like that. She'll never take a turn, and then she'll die. Like right after she comes out in DI, she'll basically get one tapped, most likely, because she's just way too squishy. And then you're just left with Ray Ben, and that isn't even with a resistance cron. I don't think that's going to do much. I mean, I might be wrong. But
I mean, Ray Ben is still a nuisance in 3v3, but there are counters. You know, it's 2025. We have counters. So...
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like if I see like Ray, Stick Ray, Ben on defense, I'm still pretty confident that I could just go see a Starkiller Malicos and win.
Yes.
Like without any issues. I think I'll be like, okay,
absolutely.
You die.
I think Malicos' first AoE, you're gonna target Ben and be like, okay, maybe I can land a stun, and then Stick Ray's gonna be like, ah! And you're like, oh, well, she's gone. Well, that was fun.
She might not even hit damage immunity. She'll just go straight to dead.
Yeah. You'll skip right through everything and she'll just be like, ah! And then we just move on with your life, and you're good. So that's sort of how I see that going. But, you know, that's just because she's a fucking squish ball.
That's what I've been trying to sort out is how do you even mod her to make her make sense? Because, like, I've got her at Relic 8. She's modded with an offense set right now, with offense, crit damage, triangle, and speed on the arrow. It's like, but she's only rocking like a collective 90k, 96k total health and protection.
Okay,
like that's basically nothing.
Yeah. In this meta, that's one tappable. Somebody can just
it's like
no damage immunity, just straight death.
Yeah, you could try to work her up to like 10,000 physical offense and then try to use that as your leveraging point for your 1,000 damage multiplier or 1,000% damage multiplier from the Cron. If you have a full team like Relic 8s or whatever like that, you know, you can go buggy with it. But, you know, it's just like, what does that matter if she just dies?
Yeah. Because like people are saying in the chat, you can... Someone sees out on defense, you can still just go, well, I'll just layer it, and Drogon will one-shot her. Like, if like an Ezra with 180k health and gaining an extra 100% on top of that can still get one shot by a Drogon in 3v3, your Rey's not going to survive, no matter what you've got. Like, she's definitely going to die.
Right.
Well, you know, and that's fine too, right? If you want to bait somebody out to use Leia versus your Rey team that just happens to have a scabby Rey on it that can hit hard, that's not the world's worst trade. But that also being said, it's like you don't even need that. Like CLS can just go in and go, well, Han stuns you immediately,
and probably puts you in damage immunity.
Yeah. If you let's say it's not with GL Ray, but if it's any other Ray lineup, you just take like dash on Chewie, you're stunned, and there's no one that will cleanse you until you're dead. Like you're pretty much toasted. And that's going to be the team. Like, it's the unfortunate side effect of like when the CD does put out these really powerful crons, very rarely do they have defensive viability because it's just so easy to exploit them. You know, if you're talking way down in Kyber 2 or 3 where people got way less options and you have this cron and whatever else, yeah, it might give you some wins here and there because she'll just one tap, you know, a character to death, and you'll get a good laugh out of watching Malgus get, you know, beat by a stick and giggle all the way to the bank. But, you know, outside of that, it's
That
just
would be
gonna
funny to
this.
watch. Like, I need a clip of that happening. Just stick Ray just going pop, 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 and just like bitch slapping Malgus down in one shot. Like, I need a clip of that. I just please.
That would be awesome.
Sorry, I digress.
That would be awesome. But that's my only point though. Is like it's just one of those things where it's like it's very powerful, but it's also very easy to manipulate into.
What about? I know this sounds weird, but what about something like a Seer Starkiller stick Ray team? Because Seer will put damage immunity on her. Starkiller will give her a lot of speed and health, right? Oh no, that's gonna fuck up the thingamabob, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, because Seer is your Ufu. You could do like
Savage.
Or Savage. You could do Crew or Savage with Starkiller and Stick Ray and try to make that work. The problem, Savage is probably better because he's a little bit more reactive and he's a little bit more of a sticky taunt than compared to Crew.
Yeah.
So that's a different can of worms, but
my Savage is also still only Relic 5. I mean, it's a travesty. It's a travesty.
How do you Relic 9 Savage? How have you not been sub-goal forced into Relic 9 your Savage at this point?
Because my next R9 sub-goal is Bane. It's a Darth Bane, not Cad.
How do you not have Darth Bane at Relic 9? What is wrong with you?
He doesn't
He's
need
not
to
a
be
true
R9.
believer of the
I
way of the
swear to God, it's like you're not even trying here. I thought I knew you, Scribble.
I have R9 pirates, all right? Okay? You got to get all the way off my back on this.
No R9 Bane.
But no R9 Bane or Cad Bane.
I mean, I don't know what you do with an R9 Cad Bane right now.
Waiting for that rework, baby. I'm waiting for it. He
Spin
will get a
furiously.
Zeta. Hey, at Relic 9, I can use him to get accuracy down in Conquest so much, marginally better.
Yo, I know we've talked about this before, but can you think of a single character in this game right now who deserves a rework more than Cad Bane? Like, Cad Bane is probably one of like the shittiest fucking characters in the entire goddamn game, who like is one of the greatest fucking characters in the actual show, like in actual like canon over there. He like stands toe to toe with fucking Jedi. He's the one who Palpatine calls on to go and do his dirty work and like contracts him out for stuff. He like leads everything, and he is just this barely used, barely thought of, just like sideshow of a freaking bounty hunter. Like it's a travesty.
The fact that he doesn't even have a Zeta, the only bounty hunter without a Zeta, I think.
No Zeta. Like, what the fuck?
It's just an insult, isn't it? Really. I mean, CG done him dirty. Definitely done him dirty. Yeah, no Zeta. No Zeta.
It's crazy.
Come on, CG. Get your acts together, and maybe then we'll. But I think they'll just probably give us a new Cad Bane before we get a Cad Bane rework.
Yeah, you have so many new iterations of him between the Book of Boba Fett and the Bad
Tales
Batch
of the Underworld.
Well, Tales of the Underworld, and then you've got the Bad Batch series where he's got a new look for that. And then it was Clone Wars series, what his model is currently based off of. So I mean, like, you've got 3 other iterations of him you could bring into the game at some point to increase that, but I don't know if they'll go down that road anytime soon.
No, I can't see
it at the right time. Yeah. Maybe at the right era, if they eventually go and do like some more underworld sort of stuff beyond the pirate sort of thing, because there are still a lot of like really good bounty hunters and stuff like that, like that they could bring in, like a new Cad Bane, and then along those lines, a new Asajj Ventress, bounty hunter Asajj. Where the fuck is that happening?
Yep. We've already got her skin, as it were, in the game already. So I mean, they're halfway there.
Whoa!
Live it. Have you seen somebody's YouTube video of that where they've changed the lyrics to "Chicken on a Bear" because there's a scene with a chicken riding a bear?
Yeah.
I have not. No.
Chicken on a bear. It's good.
Abe Lincoln on a bear.
Abe Lincoln on a bear.
There's a whole video where they just change. It's that line repeated, and they just take 2 words that work in there, and then they just put up a little infographic on every single one. It's kind of funny
but this is an actual chicken on a bay.
Okay. Well.
I mean, that just makes it so much better.
I say that reminds me. I got a buddy who's a streamer who has a redeem set up. You know the song "Look at this photograph."
Nickelback.
And then it's sort of it sort of gets like memed on, and there's like a guy who's saying there's like, "Look at this graph," and it's just like he has probably 80, 90 different things set up for. Look at this math, and just look at this, and just whatever. Look at this giraffe, and just has every single fucking thing possibly set up for just all of his like random ass fucking redeems.
300 variants for something that sounds vaguely like graph.
I haven't seen a repeat yet.
Amazing. That must take time, dude. That must take so much time to set up.
My dude puts in some serious legwork over there. Oh yeah, he don't fuck around.
Yeah. It's good times.
Anyways.
Good times. Yeah. So poor Cad Bane. I guess it's the long and the short of that one.
Poor Cad Bane.
Poor Cad Bane. Yeah. There was something I was going to say, but then I lost my train of thought. So instead, what I thought we would do is you guys talk and I'll go for a pee. All right. Does that sound perfect?
I mean, that sounds like a good way to get your train of thought back.
You can. I mean, you could totally come with me, but it's up to you.
That's not what I said.
Okay, fine.
I don't know. I mean, if that's an invitation, I mean, I'm not going to say no.
I don't think I could hold my bladder that long anyway. You guys have a chat. I'll be back.
Yeah, we got a bit of a hike to get over there, but have a good one, Scribble.
Just a small walk across a few continents.
Just a skip and a hop across the pond. It's no big deal.
Yeah, no, I do it on the regular for kicks and giggles' sake. It's fun.
It's trivial. What are we even talking about here? Just a couple thousand miles. It's nothing.
Ain't no thing but a chicken.
I mean, you're probably exactly on the other side of the fucking world, being over on the west coast over there. Actually, how many miles? I'm really curious. How many miles from me to Wales? Because I'm a lot closer than you are.
Yeah, you're a bit closer.
Let's see, New York to Wales. It is 3,366 miles. Okay,
That's
not bad.
About how far it is from me to you.
Yeah, so you're fucked. Goddamn. You done, son. But it's okay because Scribble's coming here. And we're gonna take over LA. Apparently we're buying a hotel. I think that's what we decided on Friday. Like you're gonna buy a hotel, or we're gonna buy a hotel. Somebody so we can all just chill over there and make sure we can just have no rules.
A whole hotel wouldn't it just be easier to rent a floor?
No, just be like
just buy a mansion in Las Vegas.
We could do that. Oh my god, yo, that's a good fucking idea. Should we just rent out a goddamn mansion Airbnb for the fucking community instead of dealing with hotel bullshit? Just have a fucking party house. Yo, Scribe, I can see you're back on headphones. We're planning for 2027
to kidnap the president. No, I'm not going to say that on stream.
Oh god, no. Star Wars Celebration. We're saying instead of a hotel, what if we got an Airbnb fucking mansion party house for the weekend?
If I can have a room with a lock that I can hide in, yeah. And it's not the closet. All right, I need to be. When my social battery runs out, and I'm like, okay, it's time for me to be an introvert again. If I have a dark room I can hide in, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm down for it. Let's do it.
Okay, so a closet then. Okay, awesome.
Yeah, actually, if it's got room for me to lie down.
We'll see if we can find you a Harry Potter room.
Please, yeah, big
cupboard
fan.
under the stairs. It'll be perfect. You'll be
spiders and everything, warts and all. Yeah, I'm down. Naturally. I'm down. Yeah. Oh man, I'm so excited. I like you. Pet snake. I'm gonna call it Sylvester. Sylvester the snake. Yeah, that sounds great. That sounds great. I really can't wait for 2027. It's gonna be banging. I've decided.
Oh, just now?
Decided. Yeah, just now. I've decided. I mean, I decided it before, but I've decided it again now that it's still going to be really good. Yeah.
Good. Excellent. Fantastic. Good to know.
So, back on the subject of Datacrons, are there any crons that you guys are excited to try out? Because I haven't done any testing. I haven't tested the Sordicron, haven't tested the Vadercron, haven't tested Wampa.
I mean, the Wampa I'm excited to try out. You know, it's the Wampacron. The Rolo, I haven't tried to fuck around with too much, but I am excited to give that a try.
I'm interested to see what Wampa can ramp against. That's what more or less I'm interested to see, with what he can in GAC can fight up against.
Yeah,
I want to make sure. I want to see how the survivability is, because I was thinking as soon as I saw the Wampacron, the Wampa, the quote unquote Wampa level 3 that we all know as the Wampa level 3, where you get protection up when you do the dots and everything.
Yeah,
where
that's
it's just
not there.
this is fucking fantastic for Wampa, and you're just like, why don't they include this on the Wampacron? Because that was amazing for survivability. So I'm really curious to see how well Wampa is going to do. As far as survivability is concerned, without that sort of level 3. I know they got the extra stats, the extra defense. I think it was
100% defense, max health, max protection.
Defense. Yeah, exactly.
And immunity to daze and stun, which is quite nice.
Yes, immunity to daze and stun, yes, but not immunity to tenacity down, which means you can still be hit with shock. You can still be hit with other things which can fuck you up. So. I'm kind of curious to see how far this can actually go.
Yeah. That was my big concern, was the fact that it doesn't have any survivability on it, apart from the stat bump, obviously. Now, I'm not gonna sniff at 100% offense, 100% defense, max health, max protection, but
yes,
yeah, it was
the part with the Wampacron that I'm actually most interested to test is just the raw stats. 100% offense, 100% crit damage, and 150% armor pen.
Yeah, it's
that has a lot of uses on a lot of other teams.
Yeah.
I think Sir Malicos is gonna love that combo. So that one with Wampa, unless he can meaningfully solo, I don't know, something good.
It needs to be a huge step up. That's the thing. I don't even. I'm with you. I don't even know what to name.
Yeah, I don't think he can though, because it's I think most of the other teams he's going to face right now is going to be he's just not going to survive it. I would love to see if he can go beat up, Jedi Vanguard, but that he can't because of what's her nuts. Jocasta reducing him to 1 hit point. So unless he immediately takes with their turn, he dies no matter what. And so it's there's a lot of stuff out there where I'm I don't think there's anything interesting on defense that's gonna really do anything unique, right? Unless people are still putting really shitty separatist teams down now that the Crons have gone away. They're I'm still gonna leave GG on defense because I can. Okay, well, yeah, but you can use a half dozen things to counter that GG team before you need to use the Wampa.
You could use OG Bad Batch.
Yeah, but it wouldn't require the Cron at all.
No, God no.
You could just do that without it. That's kind of my point. Is I don't know where it becomes a viable thing. I don't know what it punches up enough against to make that worth the effort.
We'll have to test it. We won't know until we try.
Well, I agree with you, but there are going to be plenty of teams that you can just look at and go, that's not going to work.
There are some 100%. You'll know just nah, actually, this is just going to fail for obvious reasons. Like we said, because of tenacity down, because of certain reasons where you're just going to be completely fucked. So there are certain ways where, an instant defeat. There's no instant defeat immunity on the Wampacron. So there are certain things where you're just fucked. Sorry, it's a non-starter.
Yeah.
But like you said, we'll have to see what
agree.
they can actually get to.
And card statement, the raw stats are just incredible. So
those could be very well used on a number of other teams where you just need 100% offense, crit damage, and 150% armor penetration. That is fucking huge.
Yeah.
Like that can make
for
or
a
break
lot of
so many
people
teams.
With the last Datacron set being so defense heavy, I mean that's going to be a huge.
That's what I was going to say exactly.
People, so I think the Wampa Crown is just solid because A, it's cheaper, but then B, it gives you a versatile tool to not just use with Wampa, but to plug and play in other teams just for the sheer amount of offensive firepower increase that you'll get with it.
Yeah.
But then you got things like the Sorticron, which I'm like,
oh yeah, I do have that.
Gimmick. It's the same gimmick as we've run before, but not better. Like it's not like it's an improvement. The stats are okay, but
yeah, decent amount of defense on there. Nice crit avoid as well.
Yeah, but it's like whenever a droid ally dispels a buff or debuff, the droid allies gains, crit damage up, crit and offense up, and for 3 turns it can't be dispelled. It's like, oh, that's cool. Whenever a droid ally is stealth, the other weakest on stealth droid ally gains 100% defense and max protection for 2 turns. Like, that's okay, I guess. Like, I don't know. I just feel like it's such an easy team to like kind of beat the crap out of. Like we have so many firing solutions for this team, and they're just like, yeah, but sortie again. And it's like, out of all the things you could have done on this cron, I don't know if that's where I would have gone.
Again, to be clear, as we do need to caveat every episode, these are very, very late game opinions where we have everything available to kill all of the things possible. So we all have like 5 counters to every team, and it's just like, if you're sitting there in Kyber 2, Kyber 3, Kyber 4, Kyber 5, something like that, even lower over there, and you have this team available, it might make or break. It might be be a huge fucking nuisance for someone to deal with. This could take on an incredibly different characteristic over there. We're just mostly saying for like where we are sort of at, like end game kind of deal. We have a million fucking counters to this, and you can probably just knock things out without too much difficulty. Again, I want to see how things go. It'll be fun. It'll be interesting to see what happens. But yeah, Cartha's 100% right. A lot of these things are kind of trivial towards the late game, but
well,
as it is.
I don't know who even in the early game has the investment into Sortie T3. Like, they're not required characters for anything besides.
Excuse me, they have a Conquest Omicron.
God,
yeah. Oh,
get with the program, Carth.
Gosh.
I should know this. I should ask Night Fox how using that Conquest Omicron has been going. I got it like a week ago.
Oh, is this one of your board? I'll do this.
Omicron? I am down to 3 viable Omicrons left to pick up, which are the 3 Inquisitor leads. The only other 2 after that would be the Scout Omi and the.
Just in case we get back to that raid, gotta have that Scout Omi. It was very valuable.
That would be the epitome of waste. Like, there's just we're past it. There's no point. Let's just throw away 20 Omicron mats.
Could you imagine 10?
No, it's
Isn't
20.
it 10 Omicron mats? Oh, it's 20?
Yeah.
I thought it was only 10.
No.
They refunded it for a brief window.
Oh, I thought that was only 10. Oh shit. Never mind.
I think at some point they did a brief window where they gave everybody who'd already invested it back.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's what I was remembering then.
10, but I think they kept it at 20.
Gotcha.
Let me see. Scout.
That's what I was remembering.
So 20. So I know they did it with Bausch. They refunded that. I think they did the same thing with Scout. They had a brief window. Like if you had applied it,
I don't remember
prior to this window, then they gave it back. I don't remember though if
that one sucked so hard. Oh,
but that one was dumb anyway because it didn't even.
What a shit Omicron!
It didn't even.
It didn't change anything.
Yeah, it didn't even give you a good like max score run. It was just like, here you go.
Well, I think that was kind of part of the problem with that speeder bike raid, apart from all of the other problems with the speeder bike raid, was that like how in the current raid and in Naboo raid, you can basically full score with any team. If you've got a team, you can hit the full score. In the speeder bike raid, you could have a full team, and even if you modded it perfectly, you're almost always going to be getting just below maximum score because the enrage mechanic would always kill you right before you'd max out the score. And that, I know it's really immaterial, but it always used to piss me off that you can't really max score on most teams. You can get like 95% of the way there and then you die. It's like, you're irritating, stupid raid.
Yeah.
But to be fair, that's probably because I was trying to duo every team because, you know, Imperial Trooper and a Rebel or an Ewok, and there you go. That's all you need. It's the same mechanic.
Well, and that was the thing, too.
That was a pretty boring raid.
You needed very specific characters to help boost that score up because they would score points for getting the using the other abilities to ramp the evasion stacks.
Yeah.
And so it gave you a chance to score more points or rebuild those stacks so you could hopefully kill the last two you needed to kill prior to the, you know, enrage them just destroying you with one tap. But yeah, worth the investment, not a snowball's chance. And the thing is too is like the way that the bonus mechanics came into play, it was based off of stat thresholds, right? And so it was like for a lot of people, you know, there are a very small list of attackers or tanks or whatever that could hit those thresholds and get more stacks out of it. And so it was like the only other firing solution on any of that was to start Relic 90 those characters to get that stat boost to make it happen. And it was just like, nope, not needed. I'm not doing that. No, thank you.
which reminds me, actually, part of the Datacron, my Snowtrooper is still Gear 8.
Hey, fun fact, it doesn't matter.
It matters a little bit. I mean,
he'll die in 2 seconds.
You can't place him on defense.
Yeah. I
guess you can.
Because
it's a focus Datacron because it doesn't matter about the gear levels, right?
Yeah, but it's basic. It's guaranteed banner loss, like 100% in fives.
To be fair, everything that I have seen thus far is that even with a high relic team on offense, if you're trying to punch up against GLs, usually you're only winning with Vader left alive anyway, because the surrounding members are not tanky and you're not taking a tank with you. You are taking a very glass cannon team. The only net positive that you have at all is that Piet can force them to target Vader.
Yeah.
And then he can't die. But that's kind of the problem, is that at the same stride, Vader's not immune to, you know, all of these other effects. So he just gets locked up and then, you know.
Plus, that marks only lasts 2 turns, right? So as soon as he goes into Merciless Massacre, he's lost that mark.
Well, that's, and then you have to get him to do his Merciless Massacre prior to Piet marking him, but Piet needs to go after he gets out of Merciless Massacre so that he's marked and you don't lose anybody. But like, they didn't give you a really good team to go around Vader. It's all pretty glass cannon-y in my opinion, and so I don't think it's really gonna do. It'll be funny, it'll do some things, but I think this was definitely one of those FTCs that's kind of targeting not the end game players. There will be people who find,
I think it'd be fun, don't get me wrong, but yeah.
Have we seen any like AI targeting bias as like fucking with Vader, like so like we see like the Adrad like to go after Jin kind of deal? Do they like to target Vader if he's low health and whatnot, or is he just like completely neutral in that?
If Vader falls down low enough health, they will target him more. But again, it's one of those things where if there is sufficient AoE on the team, you'll just die out eventually, because the team has literally no sustain except for dealing damage back. So the problem is that you will eventually chip them all down, even if the AI is dumb enough to keep targeting Vader.
Unfortunately,
it's there's just nothing else. So if the team you're fighting has enough AoE into the mix, they will eventually get through the other sides, even if they just decide to keep attacking Vader.
Yeah. So I had Gavin in the chat saying he thinks the Sortie Cron would make a pretty decent Cron for Afra. And he's got a point, you know. 150% potency, extra defense, crit avoid, level 3 that gives some buffs to droids. It would do okay. I don't think it's going to be like Dr. Afra FDC levels of power, but it's decent.
The problem is that she is very anti anything not dark side droid.
Oh no, I don't think you take in Sortie. I think you just use it as a cron for a standard Afra team. Just for the stat bump and the level 3.
Right.
Well, yeah, but the level 3 you can't even trigger the first part.
Whenever
Does anybody have a dispel?
Nobody
a
has-
droid
if
ally
you do-
dispels a buff or a debuff.
Hold on. So the dispelling a buff or debuff, does that count as like probe droid going and doing his mass
Yeah,
cleanse,
that's
or
a
like
dispel.
That
B2
would,
doing
yeah.
his
Yeah.
doing
That
his
would.
dispel?
B2
That
would.
So it would
yeah.
count. It would count
Yeah.
for those ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So those two it would count for.
And if you used Smee, he can also dispel. Quiggled can also dispel, but not a droid, obviously.
He's
Yeah.
not a droid, so yeah. Okay. All right. So you would still get some interaction over there, but not all that much.
Yeah.
Yeah, the stats would be good for Afra. The defense, the
Oh, yeah, the
avoidance, and
potency, absolutely.
that would be good for her.
Yeah.
You
But
could-
yeah, not
I
a
mean,
whole
yeah,
lot of that level 3
I
doesn't do
w-
all that much.
I could see in 5s that having some use because you can, like you said, you can grab probe droid or B2, and that will help trigger the locked crit damage up, offense up, which would be nice.
Yeah.
This-
3 turns? That's pretty solid.
3
Yeah,
turns is
that's-
decent. Yeah, for sure.
That's nice. The stealth one, I don't know if anyone naturally stealths on that team.
As far as like dark side droids are concerned,
I don't.
It's
yeah.
not a very common thing for dark side droids to
No.
stealth, is it?
Mm-mm.
We need to
So-
get
I wouldn't even-
BB9E or whatever he is into
Yeah,
the
right?
game, and he can be a stealthy droid roly boy scoundrel.
There you go. That would be funny. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say no to the stats to that, but I feel like also at the same time, Afra's gonna love the new level 3 on the other crons more. So I feel like that's gonna be what you run
Yeah.
with her. She's gonna love
I was looking at the yeah.
the constant ability to likely get her her cooldown reduction to trigger her cooldown reduction.
Yeah. Debuffs
So,
for cooldown reduction.
Yeah, so she's gonna try to inflict 5 doubts, and then she's gonna have a chance at getting that off cooldown again and doing
Yeah.
more. So it's like, and then
That's gonna be great.
BT1 and has the AOE, which will basically guarantee that his AOE is almost gonna always be up, which is just gonna melt weaker teams pretty fast. So there's a lot in the current set that Afra would like to, but I think if you want to run Afra on defense, then the Sortie Cron wouldn't be a bad shout. I think the Sortie Cron in 3v3 is still going to be a moderately annoying team.
Yeah, don't get me wrong.
because-
The stats are good in general.
Yeah, it's just the how you abuse the stealth mechanic of it. The other weakest non-stealth droid gains 100% defense and max protection for 2 turns.
The
Well, like
interesting
Free
thing
in
about
chat said the Grievous team all stealths at the start of the turn, at the start of battle. So the weakest non-stealth droid, rather the only non-stealth droid, would then be Magna Guard. So he would get 100% defense and max protection for 2 turns, and then it would do nothing.
No, actually, I don't think that's true. I think he'll actually gain 400% defense and max
Sorry,
protection for 2
yeah,
turns.
400%. Yes.
Because 4 allies are
Yes.
going to stealth, aren't they?
Yeah.
I might apologize.
So it'll
That's what I
trigger
meant to
multiple
say, yes.
times.
400%. Yes, you are correct.
But he's still correct. It'll do nothing.
Yeah, it
And
won't do
after
anything.
that,
Yeah.
it does nothing.
And then the Echo takes a turn, and
Yeah.
the Tech takes a turn,
Now,
and you get dazed and
If you
stunned.
wanted to do this in 5v5,
That's what I
and
meant to say,
do
but yeah.
like a sortie team with, or even in 3v3, do a sortie team with Grievous or something like that with T3 and whatever, or in possibly in TW put sortie in T3 with Grievous Separatist to go. be
Oh,
in
an
OE.
old school GG nuke.
Yeah, you could do an old school
man.
team for kicks and giggles' sake. That could be kind of funny to watch happen.
Hmm.
But I mean, it's just like there are a few areas where it can be kind of fun, but it's just like, again, it's one of those things. It's like the Jawa crown from last one, right? It's like it does one thing, and that's the level 3. Outside of that, the mechanics, while interesting, they can't punch up against anything useful, and so it's just like, well, what am I gonna do with the thermal detonator generator if half the teams can't take percent health damage or have locked tenacity up, and I'll never inflict the thermal detonators? Like,
Yeah.
I can't
Tenacity
do
up
enough.
really ruins that team.
Yeah, Yeah. And so it's like it's just one of those things where it's like they thought through it a little bit, but not enough. For a lot of these FTCs to be viable towards endgame, they have to kind of basically be on the par of the Rey FTC, which is nightmarish.
Yeah. Yeah,
but,
you don't want that.
I kind of am a little upset they didn't continue the trend. I would have been okay with having one of the FTCs being a little over cranked, because the Pirate Cron isn't that. The Rolocron is kind of that, but it can't be abused too much because it has the GL call out clause that prevents it from being used with GLs. So that stops it a little bit. It also boosts other teams through the roof, but still not the point. But like I kind of like having something a little off the rails where there's only a couple counters to it, because I feel like that's the fun part with GAC, at least for me, is you having something that you have to kind of work around instead of just brute forcing your way through everything.
Well, I was genuinely expecting there to be FTCs in this set that were deliberately designed to trivialize the big FTCs from the last set, like something that really deals with the Hermit Yodacron, something that really deals with Raycron. But
I mean, the Rolocrons will smoke most applications of the Hermit Yodacron. I mean, in totality, because there are enough TM loops where it just doesn't care anymore, right? It's like it doesn't matter if you put this on JML if CLS can take infinite turns until I've killed everybody.
Well, the JMK one's annoying still. If people are doing like JMK Ezra with the Hodocron, it gets completely wrecked by Lord Vader clones, which is nice.
Gets completely wrecked by QA support.
This
is true. QA support does wreck a lot of things.
It's like that's literally been my answer. Wherever anybody puts Ezra, that's where QA goes to counter. That has been my entire go-to strategy. It's like I don't have to worry about it then. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to like clench my cheeks and pray that the UFU counter gets enough damage, or I don't take too much damage in time, or they don't target the right person with a stun or whatever else, or not a stun, but an ability block or something that would really cause me a lot of heartache. And so like that's what I've done with it for a lot. But it's like I was hoping for something a little bit more potent in this set. I'm happy that they are tweaking this. I'm happy they're making it a little cheaper, a little bit more accessible. I'm happy with some variations, some level 9s and some level 15s to kind of give us some variety, and not just tax us into oblivion on the cost of doing them. But I would assume for the cost that there would be a little bit more power creep in them, and I'm not seeing that with the Vader and Rolocrons as much. I know somebody in the first 2 weeks will probably come up with this fantastic nutty team for Rolo that will just like do some dumb stuff and counter a lot of things, and it'll be good, but it won't be something that's going to be a defensive juggernaut like the Raycron has been, where it's just like, homie, you've got two options, and if they fail, you're pretty much not clearing that zone.
You can send the entire rest of your roster and do nothing.
Yeah, dude. The fact that Ray's second special just strips all that turn meter is
so annoying, isn't it?
So detrimental to so many teams. Like I know, because like Canada and a couple guys in my guild are good theory crafters, and they found a way to do a reliable multi-tap. But it is like you're gonna go 3 or 4 or 5 battles trying to clear out the Ray, because like you send in a team that draws the cooldowns down, and then you send in like before it got taken away that you send the Sawcron in, and then you would throw the button and get everyone to die, and then try to get Saw to kill her with the AoE, and then when she goes down, then you come in and clear up the rest of the board. But if you got unlucky and
it's when you combine all that with the fact that Rey can revive if she kills someone, and she's probably going to kill someone, and
oh my god,
she also can't be targeted or killed until your entire team has taken a turn. it's like, fuck, you're annoying.
Dude, there's been a few times where like I'm getting them down, like we're doing some work over there, and then Ray just like goes and gets like her fucking revive off, and you're like, well, this just all went fucking tits up, and we're done.
AoE
it's
shock.
been a good GAC, guys.
Locked shock. Everybody has the Terminator strip. She kills a unit. Everybody revives. You're like, oh, fucking great.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and I just got her modded for 0 speed, all the offense possible, and she just fucking wrecks things, and it's stupid, and she shouldn't be this powerful, and it's ridiculous. But you know what? That's where we're at.
That's the world we live in. Yeah.
You either get on board or get out of the way. That's the meta, unfortunately.
Yeah. No, the Raycron itself was like, it's a unique situation to where it's like it's very powerful, but also has like a very consistent counter to it. And what I ended up doing
Mostly
a lot
consistent.
for the JMK counter was basically you just wait till you can leap her, and then you just let Slacker, you just attack Slacker until he's out of DI again, and then you kill him before you kill the rest of the board. Because it just every time I killed everything else before him first, it's like you always were on that knife's edge of he's now looping you consistently enough to where like he's getting multiple swipes in before you can do anything to him.
Yeah.
And just like that ramping offense and the speed and everything else that goes with the Kron in general was just like, all right, no, we just hit you and your imaginary self until you're out of DI. Then we use Cat to leap you and you die, and then we clear up the rest of the board. Because otherwise, it's like every time I killed like Hux and Citrooper first, it's just like, well, he just one shot my board with a swipe for like 500,000 damage apiece.
Yay!
So there's that, but yeah, I mean I don't mind having that kind of power on one of the Crons, because I just like having something on defense that is a bit more complicated to get around than just, well, if I send enough teams at it, I'll probably win. That's just how I've been feeling about it.
Yep. Fun times. We've actually got the return of Inquisitor Crons as well, haven't we? So that fun ninth sister Cron is now back. I remember she caught me by surprise a couple of times when her Cron was last around. That was a long time ago now, though.
That's the ramping purge for every time the ramping defense, offense, and tenacity whenever they inflict purge.
No, I mean ninth sister's level 9, where she does a boatload of true damage based on her max health. So she does like an AoE and like hits everybody for 300k. So fuck.
That and the fact that she starts the battle giving everyone 200% max health and they're immune to ability block.
Yeah, it's a good Cron, that one.
Very nice, that sort of does address like the problem that I've always sort of had conceptually, not just in Galaxy of Heroes, but like in general across games, like with tanks and stuff like that. Like I think in Ninth Sister, she a big old bitch and she gonna do some fucking damage.
She a big old bitch.
She a tank and she can take those hits and everything. But when she does like a fucking ground pound smash and whatnot, like and you're playing the game, like she does some fucking damage. I know it would be a little bit crazy if the tanks also did massive fucking damage and were able to like take all the hits in the fucking world. But like, why don't tanks do more damage? Like they should do way more fucking damage if they're like actually sitting there in game and just like doing a ground pound and like smashing people around the fucking world. That's some serious fucking offense over there.
I've been playing the Battlefield 6 beta recently, yeah? And in that game, there are tanks, actual tanks. And you know what? You don't want a tank to turn its sights on you and shoot you. You die very quickly. So,
yeah,
I mean...
because tanks do damage.
Tanks do a lot of fucking damage.
They can take a hit, yes, but they also do a lot of fucking damage.
Yes, they do.
So it's like, why are my tanks just taking hits? Why are they not also dishing out the damage, And
now they do.
They should have some way to do that, and it's a little bit insane.
They should have things like they have with this particular cron though, where it's like it's conditional that they have an additional damage ability, based on the fact that they have purge, right? And it's only on her basic when she does it and that kind of thing. And so like it gives you a mechanic that does that because they're like that's actually the funny part is a lot of people screw up when they're going against like Baze and Chirrut. Baze's abilities deal bonus damage to Empire based off of I believe his max health.
Right.
And so it's like people go up against Baze with like an Inquisitor team that doesn't have a cron, and then
they hit.
Just like watch their health disappear because no one's expecting the amount of damage he's got. I'm going to.
I often get surprised at how much damage Chirrut can put out. Actually, like sometimes that guy just like boom, 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 and like, oh crap, one tapped.
I'm assuming you're talking about your Dadbot Boba Fennec team.
Yes, yeah, Chirrut has done some nasty things to that team. Like, all right, fuck you, Chirrut.
It's like I'm
son
a
of
fucking
bitch.
mind reader or something, or
a blind
more likely,
reader.
Or more likely, I've experienced the exact same bullshit when he just goes and yeets my Fennec. I'm like, but she was right there. She was you bitch.
Yeah, I was surprised how squishy Fennec was with all the increased stats too. So I was always like you're reading 100% this, and this, and then she's like takes one hit from somebody and she's like, "Oh, I died." Like, no, you should be more tanky, please.
Yeah.
I think they needed to add another 0 to that to make her actually take a hit.
But so,
I know Kyle's a badass and everything, but this is ridiculous.
Yeah, he's like, catch my lightsaber, and she dies.
But so Baze's AoE dispel, if the Empire enemies and enemies who were not buffed, they take bonus damage equal to 25% of their max health, in addition to the damage from the ability. And like that's kind of where I kind of wish more tanks had stuff like that, where it's like they had additional bonus damage based off of max health, because it's like then you have a reason to make them thick as shit.
Yeah.
And then they still do something at the end of the day besides like, well, hey, look at us just stand here and stare at each other while you slowly kill me because I have no damage output. So yeah, no, I'm with you. We should do.
They could actually contribute to the fight in some way, some material fashion.
Eating things in the face.
Yeah, exactly.
I like to eat things, just not necessarily in the face.
I like to use my face to eat things.
Yes. Food.
That is.
All right, gents. Let's go take a look at Tribe Talks questions. I think.
Let's
do
it.
Reckon? Cool.
I'm reckon I'm hungry.
I reckon
we should take some Tribe Talks questions.
We should have some food. I think next time we should totally do it at the dinner table with snacks. Okay, so totaligal. Quick question. At which point would you equip Journey Guide Omicrons? And is it possible that we're going to get a GL Boba Fett Daimyo of Mos Espa riding the Rancor? No. No.
GL version of that?
Probably like 0.069%
is successful in rallying the Star Wars fan base for a Book of Boba Fett season 2.
Yeah. He keeps trying.
Which seems so unlikely. I'm gunning for it. I'd love to see it. I would love to see actual Book of Boba and not Mando season 2.5. That would be really cool.
I would like to see it just so that they can redeem the fuck ups that they made in season 1. If make it a good show. That would be nice.
The
a little bit of justice for the character, 100%.
Just more than half the episodes being for Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Okay, 1 or 2 episodes was for the Mandalorian. It was mostly focused on Dad Bod Boba, but they were mostly shit episodes, so we don't even remember them. So it feels like it was mostly focused on Mando.
The show was so forgettable.
The first 3 were Boba, and then the last 4 were all a mix between Mando.
Like 2 or 3 episodes was Mando.
No. So there were 2
episodes.
Mostly
Boba.
There was one which was entirely Mando.
Yeah, there was one that was entirely Mando,
Yeah.
which was reclaiming Grogu from Luke.
Yeah, but I thought that was like episode 5. I thought they didn't introduce him until later on in the season.
4 and 5 were basically Mando, and then like it was flashbacks for Boba a little bit, and then the last 2 episodes were basically them working together,
Right?
because there was like, yeah, he gets the N1 Starfighter, he gets the Darksaber, he learns how to use it, he gets the Grogu back. Anyways, bunch of other things, but
Yeah.
beside the point. GL Boba never probably going to happen unless for some reason he gets another show.
Oh, yeah.
And they do it. As for Journey Guide Omicrons, it 100% depends on what the rest of the team is and what Omicrons we're talking about. Because like, Cal Kestis, his Omicrons are not required for what he's needed for at all.
Nope.
Balin has a couple of good ones, but you wouldn't really acquire. I mean, Balin's a unique scenario because usually you have his team before you unlock him. But then, I mean, there's not a ton of other Journey Guide Omicron characters. You've got Afra, but you don't really need to do much with her. And then you've got a couple other odds and ends. So I mean, usually the rule of thumb is if you have the team unlocked at decent relics, so R5 plus, and you've got good mod investment, not like spectacular, but good mod investment, then that's when you start throwing in Omicrons to punch up further than what you could normally do. Most of the Journey Guide Omicrons are not radical game changers from they just perform drastically with or without it. So usually you have to kind of have everything put together, and then the Omicron kind of goes with it. The Conquest units are a little different, where they have a lot more viability in their leadership OMEs or whatever else that completely changes the team.
Some of the Journey Guide ones really do like require Omicrons to actually function very well. I mean, Starkiller is still in the Journey Guide, and he doesn't really do much shit outside of Omicron stuff. Unless you're putting him on a steer team, which it still requires Omicrons and everything. But like, there's absolutely a couple Journey Guide characters who need the Omicrons to actually function in any way, shape, or form. Starkiller is just one of them. And if we open up,
there's 5. There's only 5 that have it, which is Starkiller. No, there's 6. Sorry, Starkiller, Grand Inquisitor, Afra, Jar Jar, Mace Windu, and then Cal Kestis.
Okay, so yeah, Cal.
So just don't do Cal.
Yeah, Cal Kestis, I agree. He definitely doesn't need anything. Starkiller 100% needs them. Grand Inquisitor could really use one of them, but is not like 100% required. Like he really wants the insta kill on the torture sort of thing. Afra, like we said, not as required. Could maybe use one. Jar Jar, I don't know, because I don't think he specifically needs his Omicrons to function. But the team is like a lot better with Omicrons there.
Yeah. And
that's a big difference.
The Gungans are a great toolbox team. Like I would always recommend at least getting 1 or 2 armies on Jar Jar and using that team because they're useful.
Have you seen that meme?
Which one?
I've seen lots of memes. Maybe way more specific here.
It's one about Gungans. It's like theory crafters and Swoga spend hours theory crafting teams with these intricate, all this intricate stuff just to be beat by Gungans.
Yeah.
And then they go back to the drawing board, spend hours, retooling, remodding, new Datacrons, still get beat by Gungans. It's just basically it's one of those things that if their mechanics beat you, they win. Like that's the end of the show.
Yeah.
But yeah, the question specifically was just looking in the context of when do you start applying the Omicrons to the team itself, and for the most part that is just once you've got the team functional. Like Starkiller is not going to do you any good if you don't have a functional team to build Starkiller around. Jar Jar is that's a character where you have to have Gungans to get there. Same with Mace, same with
not Afra, a whole lot of theory crafting goes into the Gungan setup.
Yeah. So a lot of the Journey Guide characters is like by the time you're unlocking the Journey Guide character, then usually you should be close to ready for that team to go functional. And so it's like you wouldn't really be investing Omicrons onto those teams until you have the Journey Guide character. Once the Journey Guide character reliced and brought up to speed, then you would slap down the Omicrons that you need. But otherwise, most United characters, unless you have the surrounding team, they don't do anything without it.
Yeah.
Once we get that 6th Gungan go.
Yeah.
Man. All bets are off.
All bets are off. Yeah.
I need the
That's
female
gonna be crazy.
Gungan, the scientist. That's who I need.
Which honestly, how the fuck do we not have like 2 3v3 Gungan teams? Like we need a 2nd Gungan leader, and they'll do something, and it'll be good. You know,
we'll get Chancellor Jar Jar.
Oh my God! Please
perfect.
All right.
Senator Jar Jar.
Senator Jar Jar.
Senator Binks.
Next question.
Exactly. Next question comes from Zoidberg. In the era of Squad Arena containing crystals, what was your favorite meta and what was your least favorite meta? I mean, I know mine off the top of my head. So my favorite meta was when we had Darth Revan, Jedi Knight Revan, and Padme all working as kind of like a trifecta. They could all beat each other. Basically, you could use Padme to take out Darth Revan. You could use Darth Revan to take out Jedi Knight Revan. You could use Jedi Knight Revan to take out Padme. That was my favorite meta because there was flexibility and there was variety in Squad Arena. And my least favorite meta was right before that when it was Jedi Knight Revan mirror matches all the time, and they were 4.5 minutes long. I was just like,
I was good. Yeah.
Fuck. So boring.
I'm with you. I'm with you on the Jedi Knight Revan bit, but I don't know what my favorite meta is. Like, I honestly, I think probably my favorite meta for Squad Arena. Okay, I agree with you on the least favorite. The Jedi Knight Revan mirrors was the shittiest thing. Fuck that. It was awful. Yeah. I think my favorite was when like the Darth Vader throw, like all like the GL counters kind of became a thing, and you could climb through the counters using your off meta stuff and using your non, like when you were really starting to get into it with like, okay, we can fuck with this shit. I'm starting to feel like this is possible, and suddenly some possibilities were open to you, and you were able oh, you can climb to first. I don't even need a GL. We can do stuff. We're practicing. It made it a lot more engaging. So I would say like that sort of like meta of the counters to all the GLs. I think that was my favorite like meta, at least for offensive usage in for Squad Arena. And then Jedi Knight Revan mirrors. Fuck that.
Yeah, it was painful.
Fuck that.
I am in agreement with you that the Jedi Knight Revan mirror was atrocious. My favorite meta though was hands down when Rey and Slacker came to the game.
Okay.
Because I, in my defiance, chose Slacker over Rey.
And then he proceeded to get buffed an infinite number of times.
Buffed so many times that like by the time it was done, I was like, everyone was mad because I was the only Slacker in the arena, and Rey was having a hard time winning.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, I was being asked to, take this, like to drop the leadership or whatever else every once in a while. So it was a fun time because I was able to do it. I think the other one that I really enjoyed was the gas mirror matches, because it was kind of, you had to play on auto to an extent, and then once that was done, you just pressed, or not playing, you played it for a little bit, and then once you got to the point where you could auto it, you just pressed it, where you were done with it. Whereas like the Revan meta was like 4 minutes and 45 seconds, and you maybe might win by the end of that, which was just trash. I did like the Revan meta for the same reason, because the mirror matches were pretty funny to watch, because it was just like the board implodes very quickly and you're just like one person left alive. So that one was fun, but like I think the most fun I ever had was right when GLs first came out, because it was just kind of a dominant way forward. It was kind of like you shut off everything else, and then it was just fun for me because I picked the one that was the underdog at the time, and then wound up being massively buffed. And then it was just like, but now I can slow farm Rey with no consequences.
Yeah, I remember being so frustrated with that, because I went for Rey and she was great at first, and then it was like when they kept buffing Slacker, and it was stuff like, oh, but Slacker also solos the heroic Sith raid really easily. Yeah. And Slacker doesn't use the team that uses the team you farm him for. You're going with Hux and crew, whereas Rey you just threw with your Jedi. So it's like you used Titan Jedi with Rey, and it was just like, this is really frustrating. They keep on buffing him. And Ray was then getting beat by gas as well. It was like, fuck. Damn it. So was Slacker as well, to be honest. But funny.
Well, for different
that
reasons.
That was mostly the AI, but yeah.
Yeah. Good times. Good times.
I enjoyed that. That was fun for me as when they first came out. I liked GLs when they first came out. I know people didn't like the idea, but I think PvP wise, it was fun when they first dropped.
Yeah.
Now it's just kind of like whatever because there's so many of them. But
yeah, it's too hard for it to make a difference now. We live in a different world.
Yeah.
Okay, so next question then comes from Frank and Johnny. Ever thought about the prices for everything in Sugar? This is a paragraph. I'm not sure if this is a question or a statement. Ever thought about the prices and everything in Sugar were ingrained in your head a long time ago and you just remember it as, that's just mobile gaming. And now you pass it off as normal? As someone who's always been a PC player since 1997 and played MechWarrior 2, played a plethora of game with free extensions, sometimes called patches, the thought of one new character costing $100 is insane. Agreed. And with the new era system, that happens so often happens every 2 weeks. Now, I don't want to call you guys out for paying much. I don't feel called out at all. Money on a mobile game, but come on, it's ridiculous. I agree. It is a ridiculous amount of expense.
100% ridiculous.
And it should not be normal for people to look at it and go, yeah, I'll spend $100 every 2 weeks on this game, or I'll spend $150 every 2 weeks. Spending money on this game in the way that I do, I don't justify it for the average person. I do it because, technically speaking, it's my job. I make money from content creation and streaming, right?
The difference here is perspective, though, right? Because like when you're talking about live service games, mobile games are updated usually quite frequently and have a lot of hands on deck to constantly keep pumping out content. And they're relying on a small percentage of the player base to support a large swath of their activities, and so like they have to market it in a degree in which keeps them afloat, right? Like if this was a super small mobile game and they had a small dev team and they could get away with less prices, then that's one thing. But this is a game that has an update basically about at the worst of it every 2 weeks, but usually we get patch fixes every week if there's anything critical happening, and then the major updates are every two weeks for new characters and stuff like that. And then you have a lot of other stuff with the game where the way Swoga is now, I am more comfortable with what they charge. Swoga back in 2020 and 2021 and 22, where we just were at this lull of there was no new content, no new raids, no new TB, nothing going on, no real live service being asked for. That's where everything felt really egregious for what they were asking for what you were getting.
When it was like $350 for a character.
Yeah,
less content and 3 times the cost.
Yeah, so for now, I'm more okay with it, but it's just like if you were like, it's the same thing that they do with like Call of Duty, and they're going to do with the new Battlefield, and they do with a lot of other live service games. They have to keep funding the content once it comes out, so you can't just launch a game and let it run, because it's constantly being updated, things being added, and there's a constant dev team that's working on just maintaining what you play with. And so the perspective changes. I get where the money has to come from to keep things afloat. But yeah, if you want to ever talk about the prices, we can all agree it's outrageous.
It is completely outrageous. There's also a large psychological element of when you start spending money on a game like this. Because obviously when you first look at it, you're like, it'll start small. It'll be like, I'm not paying $10 again every 2 weeks on a Conquest pass for this free-to-play game. I don't need to spend any money. I'm not doing that, right? But then you spend $10 and you get used to doing that. All of a sudden, spending $10 every 2 weeks doesn't seem like a big deal. However, from a psychological perspective, as soon as you started spending a little bit of money in the game, any other expense seems more reasonable. And that goes and goes and goes and goes and goes and goes. It just completely does.
And that's like if you wanted to pick my brain on the psychology of pack
cost
pricing.
Fallacy. Yeah, anyways, go on.
Oh, just like, a long time ago,
you gauge the value of packs based off the in-game economy, which is a fictitious system, right? And so there was a large point of time prior to all this stuff where CG's kind of really throttled. They've kept the price the same, but they've massively inflated what you're getting out of it. Things seem much more reasonable now than they used to. But it's like when you're looking at that though, and you're dealing with a fictitious economy and using that for the decision making on if something's worth buying, that's where it gets to be almost a joke with yourself, right? Because you're convincing yourself that the monopoly money that you're getting for the real money you're spending has some value to it somewhere to you. And so it's just like
it doesn't actually, no.
It doesn't actually, no. And so like that's the part you kind of have to balance out. And it is like, I wouldn't recommend whaling on this game. I do it because I have the disposable income to do it and I enjoy the genre. But if you ever want to sit down and argue, do things you need to cost what they do, no. But I think part of it is that you have to throttle back what people have access to. You make it too cheap and then everybody's got 18 million GP accounts and the game is trivialized to no end either. So I think part of it is just is the threshold of entry is what is reasonable for something that they could pay, but keeps enough people from just over flooding the market. Yeah.
So I think we're all in agreement. The pricing is ridiculous. It really is. It's way too high, and you shouldn't be spending money on this game. I don't take offense at being called out, as it were. Doesn't offend me at all. I'm very cognizant of the ridiculous amount of money we spend on this game on a regular basis. But unfortunately, just to go back to what you said, that's mobile gaming. That is the beast that we play. That's the world we live in.
Yeah. If you compare it to any other fucking game in the world, I spent $20 on Valheim and I've spent several thousand hours playing the game and never had to spend a penny beyond that $20 just to download the fucking thing and that's it. It's a very different style of game, and that's just sort of like the upkeep and everything. You find different ways to justify it. You find I'm spending this money, but I'm playing the game this much, and we're putting this many hours, and where it's this many, okay, so dollars per leisure hour. If I compare this, if I was going out drinking, or if I was going out doing this, or why, you can justify it in any sort of way you want to. Anyway, end of the day, it's a fuckload of money.
It is. It's a lot.
This game actually asks you to spend on it. It's it's not ridiculous, but at the same time, it's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's just.
It
in
is.
every way, shape, and form.
Alrighty. Next question comes from Bubba Joe then. Greetings, honourable members of the Tribe Talks Council, as well as Carthrick. I have a question for you again this week.
Got him!
Which teams do you enjoy actively playing in the game? You actually control them, not just go full auto, because of animations, capabilities, power, and general artistic considerations of the characters. And why are you wrong if it's not Starkiller or Malakos?
Those are the answers. Yes.
Those are the answers. I like Starkiller and Malakos.
You preempted them. Yeah. Yes, Malakos and Starkiller, either together or separately, are the correct answers to that question. You took my words. You cut me off. Goddamn Bubba Joe. Fucking jackass.
I will make an honourable mention for using Great Mothers in Conquest with Zealous Ambition. That's a lot of fun.
Zealous Ambition or the Master Assist one?
Oh no, Zealous Ambition. I mean, Master Assist as well. That's great. But Zealous Ambition, Great Mothers is a support. Well, half the Night Sisters are supports.
Oh, okay.
So she's like, I take away all your protection. Now I do an AoE and everybody dies.
I thought you meant the booming voice. So she does that and then it calls everyone to assist.
Oh yeah.
When she does that with the booming voice.
Yeah. But also throw on Zealous Ambition and it's just
yes.
Bonus turns, bonus turns. That's a lot of fun. That's very specific. That's very niche.
That's some good stuff. Also, Bane. Bane's fantastic.
I do like Bane. Yeah.
He's one of my favorite characters just in Star Wars. So just love using Bane. He's a good one. So.
I enjoy the Gungans mechanically. I think they're kind of a fun
team to use in a lot of respects.
With their Kron is quite fun.
Even with the the Tarpals Kron is hilarious. Just like
no special,
let me
no
melt-
cooldowns, right?
Yeah, well, resets his cooldowns by cutting his max health, which he doesn't care about.
Yeah.
But like the Gungans, the new Bad Batch, like I like the mechanics that go into those teams. The Gungans was just kind of funny because there's always that like, not that's the wrong word. There's just always that like 0.01% chance that some dumb effect happens. So I do find it funny. I have had the moment where Jar Jar has instantly defeated somebody, and it's just like,
I had that happen not too long ago in GAC. Jar Jar got the insta kill, and just as he did the animation, they sticking his tongue out. I had a new subscriber, and it completely blocked the entire animation. I was so annoyed. Because I was like, now I can't make a short out of this because all it is a subscribe. Totally my fault. I shouldn't have had my animations play right over the center of the screen. But it was just like the timing on that. What are the odds of a 0.01% effect happening right as I get a subscriber announcement?
Honest to God, though, they just need to make a Jar Jar Datacron, like an FDC for the Gungans. It literally goes, hey, this like 1 in 1,000% chance. It's now a 1 in 10.
Oof. Yay! Oof. And it applies to and Jar Jar now assists whenever a Gungan does an ability. Like
dude,
things would get fucky very quick.
It would be so funny. It would be funny. I would love it. But it's just one of those things where it is what it is. But I like some of the newer teams just mechanically that they're intricate enough, and so they're kind of fun to play because there's a skill level between just playing them properly and having them modded properly versus just throwing the team in and calling it a day. So I like teams that are a little bit more intricate. I still love, like, animation wise, Malicos and Starkiller and a couple other teams like that, just because it's so much going on. They put so much work into Starkiller's animation and his alt mini alt kind of thing. It was really cool. Same with Malicos, just throwing boulders never looked so cool. So
I'll give another honorable mention to Queen Amidala with the Krennic Kron. That's a lot of fun just because it's ridiculous. It's just like, okay, Anakin's going to blow the whole field now.
Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan,
yeah. It's literally I press one button and then I wait for Pow's turn, and that's it. That's all I do.
Unless Barriss is on the team, and then it's basic central.
No. That's the coward's way out.
You want to go balls to the wall, baby? Let's get messy.
Oh yeah, no. What you do is you just make sure that who you take with you doesn't do a lot of damage, and then you just AoE and everyone dies at once.
Oh my god!
Yeah, with Rey, that's more of a challenge than like if you're doing Spectre or something like that. But yeah.
Okay. So, next question comes from Rover. He says, "Has Karth seen Skeleton Crew yet?" I think we get this question every week, and I'm pretty sure the answer's not going to change.
It will. I've been so busy. I watch right now. I'm watching Boston Legal with my wife.
Oh, that's nice.
And we'll watch like 1 or 2 episodes every couple of days, and that's as far as we go.
Fair.
But it's just because there's no. I don't have to pay attention to it. It just plays in the background. It's not like I'm sitting down to like watch content. It's just like I'm relaxing. I'm sipping on a whiskey. I'm just having a good time. I'm not there to like watch a show.
Yeah. Fair.
Time for it.
You'll get to it eventually. The second part then is, which show or movie, Star Wars related, are you looking forward to? New Tales, new Mando Grogu, second season of Ahsoka, anything else? What are you guys looking forward to that's on the horizon?
My answer is nothing, because
I hate Star Wars.
No.
Oh.
I am at the point now where if I put the blinders up and I ignore Star Wars content in totality, and I'm just happily surprised one day when there's a new show that comes out and it's received reasonably well, that I'll go watch it. But then like my expectations aren't aren't very high, and so it's just like I got to go in and enjoy Star Wars content. I feel like with everything that's been coming out over the last like 8 years has been so oversaturated and with the media attention of positive and negative and just dumb shit that gets thrown into everything, and it just kind of ruins the experience. I mean, like I never really cared for that kind of stuff, so it's like it's hard to go in and enjoy something when your viewpoints are so tainted by everyone else talking about it on the internet for months before it releases. So for me, for a lot of it, it's just better to go, I don't care what comes out anymore. At some point, Rover's going to remind me in a Tribe Talks that a new show's come out and that I should go watch it. And I'll be like, oh, I haven't heard of that one.
That'll be the new flavor of the month.
Yeah, I should probably go do that one now. But like even with like with Skeleton Crew, I mean, I didn't want to watch Skeleton Crew till it came out for the exact reason that I don't like watching a lot of the Star Wars shows that come out. It's like sometimes they are a victim of being a TV show. It just takes forever to get through a plot point because we need 8 episodes or whatever, and so a lot of that just pushes me out of that kind of stuff. As for a new movie, I don't know. I feel like Star Wars is just headed for a cluster. They've got too many things they're trying to tie into one point, and it's not. I don't think it's going to go well. I think it's going to either the movie's going to be ungodly long, or it's just going to be, hey, all these plot points, throw them out the window. Somehow Palpatine returned. Let's go get him again.
Palpatine returned again somehow.
Well, yeah. I mean, all joking aside, one of the I forget which Star Wars review show channel it is, like one of like the YouTuber Star Wars guys over there was saying like made a great observation. Like all of the shows recently, not even just recently, all the shows like for a long fucking time have pretty much all just been trying to flesh out and justify the whole somehow somehow Palpatine returned. Yeah. So they're all just exist at this point to just justify that one fucking stupid ass line of somehow Palpatine return, where it's like, okay, so there's this Bad Batch, okay, and an entire show of the Bad Batch is just to set up the whole cloning thing and getting force sensitive clones, and like the entirety of that thing is just to set up Palpatine eventually coming back. So yeah, there definitely is an element to that I can feel with Karth over there. However, I do need to actually say that you are entirely incorrect about the TV shows, and Evo is 100% correct, because Maul fucking Shadowlord with Sam goddamn Witwer is coming out, and that's going to be just fucking amazing. I don't care what you say, it's going to kick some ass, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, but see, I find the problem I have with it is I don't want him to fall victim to what happened to Mara Morrison, where you have somebody who's committed.
I don't think he will.
They love what's going. Well, but the thing is, though, is that as much star power as Sam Witwer has,
he's got a lot of Star Wars power, though. Not star power, Star Wars power.
That's something entirely different.
I agree with you.
These are two different things.
But if Disney wants to come tread on it, they can and they will. And so that's I just don't want to get. Like, I agree. Sam Witwer would do an amazing job if he is allowed to have a lot of latitude over the project. But if Disney starts boxing him in, then I don't want to be like, well, I expected more out of Sam Witwer, and now I'm not going to like this because it wouldn't live up to the potential of hype I would have with it. So I think that's my only reason for when.
That's fair enough.
That's why I want to kind of put the blinders on and just ignore it, because I'm like. Then it's just like, okay, cool. It's Sam Witwer. Let's see what it has, what he was able to come up with, and not be like,
that's fair.
Well, we tried, but Kathleen Kennedy came in and was like, what Maul needs is a Night Sister to come with him, and now we're gonna make it instead of the the Kenobi show, it's actually the Reva show, and so it's like, that's all I want to avoid. It's
I'm really looking forward to not having more Reva.
But that's my point, though, is like we got a cool concept, like a lot of people wanted Kenobi, and then it basically became the Inquisitor show.
Yeah.
And so it was like, that's kind of where I get my head. Like, a lot of things are good in concept, but in actuality, I'd rather wait for them to come out and then judge it from there.
If they had done the Inquisitors well, I don't think it would have been as much of a problem, because like the Inquisitors are pretty fucking bad. I think I've said this before on the podcast, but the Inquisitors in Rebels were badass, were ruthless, would like at one point they were going and hunting like force sensitive children, and went and boarded a civilian transport ship and murdered the entire ship of civilians to go and get one fucking force sensitive child. Like the Inquisitors did not fuck around in Rebels, and they just neutered them entirely in the Kenobi show. And if they had actually shown them some respect and made them fucking badass and like actually made them like the imposing figures that they actually were, I don't think people would have been quite as upset about them having a prominent role. Also, if they had not fucked over Kenobi so much and like made him, you know, something of a competent character and like well written, then I think maybe they would have had some more grace for that as well. But I digress.
Yeah. Kenobi had one episode and like 10 minutes of it of being OG Kenobi, and then the rest of it was being a character we didn't really recognize. And then the Inquisitor part, the only reason the Inquisitor,
and it was like, wait a minute, let me just hide Leia under my fucking trench coat because
because stealth level. I rolled a nat 20 on my stealth check. Get the fuck out of here. But you know, like the Inquisitors wouldn't have been bad if they literally didn't try to humanize Reva. If we didn't try to go back and make Reva, you know, a character that we were supposed to relate with and just let her be a villain, I think that would have made for a better show in its own right, because we didn't need a reason to like her. Let her just be a villain. But you're like, no, we got to humanize her and make her, you know, make her backstory sad and tragic. I'm like, have you not read Star Wars? Everyone's backstory is sad and tragic. Like, there's very few characters that are just like, yeah. So
it's
anyways,
a soap opera in space. That's what they say.
You know, I got abducted by Jedi. I was cool with it. My parents were, you know, fine with it. They were happy to let me go, and you know,
it was all consensual.
I've lived a great life at the Jedi Temple. I've never been mistreated. Everyone's always thought well of me. I've had a lot of opportunities. I'm like, that would also be a very boring Star Wars show. But
the only problem is I just happen to be a massive bitch. All right, okay, that's why I'm doing this.
These things happen. You know, what you gotta do.
Anyways, let's keep going. We've seen a lot. This is still Rover, by the way. We see a lot of new animations on characters coming out and opening a chest. Jocasta, Kegs, Maz, they're all opening chests. What new animation would you like to see in the game? And are you keeping it short or making it annoyingly long?
Oh, fuck annoyingly long animations. Oh my god, no more of that shit. Please stop. Just please stop with like the 5 second long basics.
The first egregious one that I remember is Cara Dune's basic. You know, do you remember? Because it would be like Mon Mothma teams, and she would counterattack, and she, even though she has a minigun, which I will add is a ranged weapon, she runs all the way up into someone's face and goes, and then runs all the fucking way back.
Don't have to worry about accuracy if you're at point blank. That's all I'm saying.
I was like, bitch, it's a gun. Shoot it.
I want Hondo's GL ult to be opening a credit vault, and I want it to take a solid 15 seconds.
And it just like dumps credits on the enemy team. Just drowns them in credits.
Just drowns them in profit.
You can never have too much profit, Carth.
Nope, you can't not. Oh my god. I mean,
man.
I would love to see some cool I would love to, like, for some of the Jedi and other characters, I'd like to see them do some more stuff with the like force lightning or throwing objects, like we kind of have with some of them, where they pick something up and they chuck it, kind of like Star Killer's force throw, right?
Yeah.
I would like to see them kind of do some more things with that. That would be interesting. But I feel like where they've been going a lot now with the newer Conquest units and marquees, I'm just kind of like, I want things that are more like kind of like character accurate and not just like lazy.
Yeah.
Because it's like if you go back, remember, look at the first like 100 characters, like most of the Jedi, all they've done is switch the specials and basic abilities around for the different characters.
Yeah,
and
for some weird reason, they did that with Zeb as well. It still throws me every time.
they only made like a dozen animations, and then they just put the different characters over it, and they just swapped in how they used them.
Yeah.
It's like, so that one's kind of lazy, but like I think with the newer stuff, as long as we have stuff that's kind of unique to the character, they kind of have a reason why that animation makes sense. I'm kind of okay with it, but they've been doing really well with the animations.
Oh yeah.
The characters feel unique and like they're doing what they're actually the ability says and that kind of stuff. So I've been okay with it, but I would like a funny one. I would love for Hondo's ult to literally be just dumping a vault of credits on the enemy team. That's what I would love to see.
So the only animation that I want to see come to the game, and I actually told this to Meathead a couple of weeks back, was I want them to change Lord Vader's ult. Instead of him just like aura farming and raising his hand for some reason, right? I want him to shrug off the cloak, right? And then do the Obi-Wan spin, which for some reason he never does. Why do we have Lord Vader and Anakin never do like the signature move that Hayden Christensen invented and is known for? Like, he never does the Obi-Wan. Why does he not do that? Like, let him do it in game. Just do that, and I'll be happy. And then, obviously, after he's ulted, he's now just wearing his Jedi garb rather than the robe.
If we're talking about going back, can we please put Kenobi on a pedestal when he ults?
Give him the literal high ground. Put him on a mountain.
Exactly.
Like, just make a rock come out from underneath him for the animation. He stands on top of the rock.
For the rest of the battle?
Just give him blunt.
Just while
while he's an ult. Okay.
While he's an ult, yeah. like Starkiller, who takes the stance and puts his helmet on when he's got the ult on. You know,
or like when there was a time in Hoth where Leia used to do her ult and she used to teleport behind the enemy team for a split second at the end of her ult. So she'd be standing behind them. They're like, Leia, what are you doing over there, honey? And then she would just go, whoop.
You know what they could do? They could just make like JMK a massive character and just have like him with the hill as like the high ground. And
that would be awesome.
He's holding up the high ground. Yeah.
And he's just in the back in the Jabba slot.
Yeah. Why not?
I agree.
How about you, Wolf? Any animation you want to see in the game?
I mean, aside from that, I mean, no, I mean, honestly, I think the only thing that I've really asked for, it's more than just an animation. It would be like more an actual ability. Deflecting lightsaber bolts. You know, deflecting blaster bolts has been such a constant thing in Star Wars. I know we see some of it with like the what is it? Padawan Obi-Wan, I think, has the deflecting thing in his middle ability, and then Cat has like a little bit of deflecting thing. I think Cal Kestis might have a thing, but I want like an actual interaction thing. Like I want, people get like, why can your Jedi with your lightsabers not deflect blaster bolts? Yeah, you know, I want a chance for you to go and deflect
They even call it deflection, you know, for avoiding special attacks.
Either like back into space or whatever, or like back at the person. I want an actual interaction where you are reflecting or deflecting or whatever blaster bolts, because that is such a fucking thing in Star Wars. It just feels weird that it doesn't exist in this game. You know, it's something that is so much everywhere. Like they've worked it in the plot lines before. You know, there was like a Rebels episode where the droids like they were teaming up with some old decommissioned separatist droids, and they were like, "We are terrible shots, but you're great shots. We'll shoot you. We can deflect them and blow up the things." And they're like reflecting blaster bolts and blowing shit up, and like it's a whole thing that all Jedi can do this. And why is it never actually used in this game? You know, it feels like something like a big thing that they left out, but that may just be me.
Why not? I'm here for it. Right, we need to get cracking here, guys. So, do you think kits are getting too long? Yes.
Yes.
Do you think we could get a new? they're very long kits these days. Do you think? Well, some of them are shorter. Like Quiggles, for example, is quite a bit shorter, but it's got 2 abilities. So.
Yeah, but when everything's a textbook, if thing's a chapter shorter, it feels like an improvement, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
And do you think we could also get a new planet for Rote at the end of this year? Because it's been a significant amount of time since we had Mandalore. If so, what do you think it would be?
Naboo.
Well, actually, maybe a new special planet.
Karth is going to say Naboo to this question every time it comes up.
They have so many assets for Naboo. It just seems like a complete waste. You have the entire you did the entire assault battle for it. You have the Jar Jar event for it. You have the freaking raid for it. Like, you got so many assets you could just roll into this and be like, Naboo, and be done.
Yeah.
Naboobies. Yeah.
Naboobies. I'm here for it.
Yeah, boobies. Yay.
I would take
See,
any
everybody's happy.
new planet. I would take any new planet, and particularly I would like a new planet that gives us a new character for the
Yes,
TV.
please. Yes, please.
I don't care if, I mean, you know, make it a lockout, so you have to try to get to it, so you don't feel like you have to give up the Reva shards anymore. But
Yep.
something, give TB something to do besides just grind silly CMs endlessly every week.
Yeah.
Other week.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's what I got.
It may go along with whatever the next planet ends. Not next planet. It may go along with whatever the next like era ends up being after the pirates, because the pirates got their own you know, their own fucking planet. You know, they're already going to be in the raid and everything. I guess they could add Florum and just like have that be part of it, but I doubt it.
Yeah.
So.
I have no idea. I have no idea. I'll be honest. I always want more planets, and I definitely want more unlocks. So, gimme.
No.
Gimme. Rule of 2 is... Oh, sorry, go ahead, Wolfie.
I was just say real quick, Tim in chat said roll in Peridia. This is like, the only problem with that is like, this is about the rise of the Empire, and the TB ends with like the Death Star sort of thing, and like that's like the final sort of phase of things. So Peridia is like right smack in the post Empire, you know, Imperial Remnant sort of era. So we won't get anything like that from you know, for the TB.
At least incredibly unlikely. The theme is the rise of the Empire, so the events after
exactly.
Episode 3. So there are some planets like tangentially where you could make an argument for Mandalore being a part of that, even though we're using the Imperial Remnant there.
Yeah, that's a bit weird.
They did kind of go off script with that, but they went and then they used the new Bo-Katan instead of OG Bo-Katan for that. It was kind of off. It was a little out of whack, but nothing like. It wouldn't be unprecedented. Where like Peridia like is only ever brought to light well after the Empire has fallen.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So the Night Troopers, Shin Marek and Balin, you know, Glatt and all them, I don't think they'll ever like feature in Rise of the Empire.
No,
I don't think so either.
Yeah. All right. So next question is rule of 2. I want to know if you think Lightspeed tokens are dead on arrival. They've taken Lightspeed bundles for $15 to $20 and turned 5 old character bundles for that price into a single old character for the same price. I haven't bought a single Lightspeed token, and I'm not inclined to.
Literally,
yeah.
So
almost the next round need to.
We're probably not the best ones to ask about this.
Yeah, it's $15 basically for a single character to Relic 5, right? And you can only do that for Separatists at the moment, as you know, a specific pool of Separatists. Is it worth it in the context of if I have never farmed Stap? $15 to get an R5 Stap is okay, but unless they adjust the pricing or expand the pool significantly, I don't see it really taking off too well. Maybe, but again, I have everything.
This is very, very specific as to what they launched first, because it's Separatist, and then the other one that that's at the end of the track is Scoundrels. I want to say specifically.
Well, they've done Smugglers in the Era Pass.
Is it Smuggler? Okay,
yeah.
It is Smuggler. So, I mean, the Smuggler one only costs you $10, and you'll get 2 of them. You get the Lightspeed and the Bronzium and then the Kyber if you bought the Chromium, which is 5 stars. Okay, so it's not quite the same. It's a bit cheaper, but there's like about $15 worth of Lightspeed token there collectively, right? Chromium is $10. Bronzium is basically $6. So, you know, you're still getting
something out of it, nothing crazy. I think for a lot of the Lightspeed tokens, the individual offerings I think aren't what you're going to find as worth your time unless you're super far behind in the game and there is something in that that list that you desperately want to get done quickly. But I think for a lot of people, if they are behind on those characters and they want to incentivize that pass purchase for $20 for the pass, right?
$20 for the pass, yeah.
They basically added, because they didn't take anything out of the pass when they redid this with the Lightspeed tokens. They only added the Lightspeed tokens to it. So they technically added another $15 worth of value to get a nice jump on a character you don't have yet onto a $20 pass. So I think all they're trying to do with it is just kind of give you a baseline for what the value is related to on these ones. But as in, if you want to pay $15 for one of those characters, I think it's going to be a super, super situational as to if that value is worth it to you, because the Lightspeed bundles are usually focused or specifically around some form of journey guide character.
Yep.
And yes, they offer way more value. In some of them, you know, people might feel differently about like the Star Killer bundle or the Inquisitor bundle, comparatively to like what, you know, the Rey or Star Killer Slacker bundles were for. But the autonomy to be able to choose which character you do and what that kind of stuff kind of gives you a little bit more. I think
it's a pseudo autonomy, really, isn't it? It's like you can choose out of this limited selection of characters.
Yeah, but you could, the Kyber Lightspeed token for the Separatist, you could choose Grievous.
Yeah, or you can choose Stap if you want to have a Kyrotech heavy character. But
but like Grievous is still only farmable via the Shard store. Like that's the only way you can. The fleet store.
Okay.
He's a rare drop in the fleet store. Yeah, so he is a pain in the ass to shard. He really is.
But that's my point. It's like for $15 on a brand new account, if you wanted Grievous, you'd be willing to make that trade. Or maybe, like you said, Stap, who's a resource heavy character, and just skipping all the Kyrotech. There are some gems in the factions where that could be worth the investment. But as for every character in the faction, not a snowball's chance in hell. So I think it's very much like it's for people that have specific targets in mind. They'll just float them around and let you have them. But I don't think that their presence diminishes Lightspeed bundles or will remove them from ever adding anything new to the game. I think it just gives players another option for flexibility. The only thing I would say that I would have done differently is they should have gave them the Zetas. I don't know why CG is so stingy with those.
Yeah, it's a bit weird. It's a weird choice.
The Zetas and Omegas. If you don't want to give them the Omicrons, that's fine. I don't care. But like, come on. Let's be real about this.
It would be nice.
Get it. But I mean, there was a point in time, you know, a year and a half ago where, you know, before Lightspeed bundles, you know, I would have looked at, you know, some of the newer characters being, if it was to pay like, you know, $50 to $100 to have them fully maxed out, like Relic 7 stars, you know, that would have sounded reasonable at the time. So
yeah,
matter of perspective.
Yeah, I think that they need a little bit more time to breathe. I think it's a particular selling point. I don't think they replace bundles. I think it's just going to be an addition to. But hey. I think we should continue to expect Lightspeed bundles have their price increase so that it makes Lightspeed tokens look a little bit more attractive, but we'll see.
Well, as you get bundles that are focusing more and more on newer releases, I feel like we'll see their prices start to go above $50 more consistently.
Yeah.
The new releases, but then I expect the older ones to eventually come down in price. You know, the Star Killer one won't always be as expensive as it once was. Same with the Afra bundle and all that sort of shit. So I expect those will come down a little bit in price once they become a little bit less relevant, you know, a little bit older and more accessible. And then obviously, like you said, the newer ones, those will keep on being the same.
Yeah.
That same sort of price point.
Yeah. All right, we have one final question from Holy Land. He says, what's your opinions about having a new tag-in game for the Eternal Empire and CG to work in a project around GL Valkorion? I have no position on this because I know this is a KOTOR character. and I only ever played
SWTOR.
KOTOR for SWTOR character, and I only ever played SWTOR for the very first month that game officially released. So that was well before whatever expansion pack brought Valkorion to SWTOR.
Eternal Throne was the Knights of the Eternal Empire was the expansion for that, which was still like 3 years ago, but 4 years ago, a long time ago. Anyways, I mean, if they want to go down that road, but CG has made it like blatantly obvious that their directive is maintaining what is current media releases. I don't know if they go off the beaten path more than they had to stretch for a GL, right? Nothing in Skeleton Crew was really what I'd call GL worthy.
No.
So going for Hondo, yeah, okay, they made an exception there. I get that. But, you know, we are following a very consistent
Hondo.
trend.
Hondo's at least like a Galaxy's Edge character, so he's at least like relevant in the whole Star Wars universe and like the Disney as far as they're concerned. You know, so he's at least a recognizable character and like relevant to them. So I realize like in universe it's a stretch, but for them it's not as much of a stretch because of the part that he plays for the park.
Ithano Kix and Quiggled was completely out of left field. In my opinion.
It is, but it isn't though, right? Because it's the 10-year anniversary of The Force Awakens this fall or this winter. And so that was their tie into that. I'm fairly convinced that the last era for this year will be the new fleet, which makes it
I really hope so, because I just want a new fleet. But
I do too, but I feel like they need we need it, but B, they kind of want to do the same thing they did last year, which is going over the Christmas holidays. We're not doing anything important, so they can leave and go on vacation.
Yeah.
And then just let the events tick through while we collect an unusually high amount of rewards for a couple of weeks.
Oh, it's going to be so good. I can't wait for Christmas time.
So I would see them trying to line up fleets with that time of year, because then it's easy to drop the event and then it goes off as all the things are working. There's no real like consequences for that. There's nothing to really fix with it as long as it beats Leviathan easily and it doesn't get countered by First Order and Resistance, then they can let it go for a couple of weeks while they're on vacation. So then we know for a pretty good fact that the era starting at the beginning of the year again is going to be leading once again to the next raid. And so it's just one of those things where it's like we kind of have an established cycle of what they're aiming for. So that means basically we know early into next year what the raid is going to be, and that's going to dictate what the content's going to revolve around to a degree. No one really would have called the Order 66 raid being dominated by characters that didn't exist or weren't a part of any of that at all. But here we are.
I also don't expect the next raid to let us undermand quite so well.
They're gonna sneaking suspicion.
They're gonna shore up those undermand teams pretty heavily, I'd say.
Well, I think what they're gonna probably do is they're gonna tie things to having to have a leader, which will really limit what you can split, right?
Yeah, that's fair. Okie dokie, that was our final question. I've just seen Lamy over here in the chat is saying, do I think they need to make changes to TW and GAC? Absolutely. TW was well overdue.
Reference almost every
I think you missed the second half of that question, actually.
Sorry?
I think there was a second half of that question.
I understand.
One that you...
Sorry. Oh, the one I got rid of.
The one you had deleted, yeah. It was also asking about expanding the GAC board, adding more teams on
I didn't read
defense
that
and everything. Yeah, because I saw that, I was just like, fuck no, please God no. I don't want more teams on defense. It's too much. We got too many battles as it is.
Things need to change, but we can't. It takes
too long.
Yeah, we can't just continually expand the GAC board.
Yeah, we need to change, but expansion is not the way.
Expansion is a way, but it should only exist as in a higher bracket. It's like if there are people that, and it should be one that has to be opted into, like when you're playing ranked or whatever, right? Like you can go play a game and play casual, have a ranking based on your casual rating, and then you can go opt into the ranked if you want to go more hardcore. that I would be more okay with. Like if you're in Kyber 1, you can opt to go play this and go get your ass handed to you by all the Krakens. Or all the Krakens that don't want to play at all, and they can go hang out in Chromium with all the 4 million GP accounts. But yeah, the short answer is yes, they need a lot of work. How they fix it, I'm not entirely certain by it because there's so many community concerns to address with those game modes. But you know, GAC is one of those things where it's like you add more to the board. Yeah, it's more. It gives you more dynamic to play with, but it also increases the time in game, which is like the top 3 complaints that everyone has with this game on a regular basis is how much time you have to spend playing it if you're competitive and serious about it. And
it's crazy.
They have to do that with a fine approach where it has to have some form of balance to where it's not like, yeah, TW is completely changed, and now instead of occasionally checking in every few hours to do a match every once in a while, now you got to monitor it for like 24 hours straight, and you got to
without sleeping.
Yeah, it's just like no, thank you. So
doesn't
it change?
Yes.
Stuff. How they go about it is kind of a loaded question because there's too many. There's a lot of ways to skin that cat, and we're just hoping that the which one they choose doesn't just screw us in the long run.
And yeah, to Liam's question, TW and GAC is sort of the same, in the same boat over there. We need a rework. We need something. We need to change it up. But expansion, I do not think is the right way to do it.
The thing is, when it comes to expansion as well, is when do you stop? We've got people breaching 16, 17 mil GP. We've got 11 teams on defense in 5s, I think. Yeah. When we've got 20 million, do we go up to 12 teams on defense, 13, 14? When we go up to 25, are we going to end up having 20 teams on defense, 20 teams for GAC will take 3 hours, and I don't want that. So there has to be some other solution.
Yeah.
Unless the crystal reward is 3,000 crystals per win, then I don't
give
want
it to
that.
Me. Yeah.
Yeah, you need some serious actual incentive over there to get us to actually play that fucking game mode at that point, because that's, like you said,
I love GAC. I love it. I really do. But I don't want to play it for that long. I will never finish a Friday night GAC if that's the case.
No, never.
Yeah.
Like you will always the next day be like, all right, fuck, what did we do last night? God damn it, I still like half the goddamn GAC. Like yes, every Saturday it would be awful. Yeah. So no.
Yeah. Cool. All right, gents, it is late. It is late.
Yes, it is.
So we're going to wrap things up over here. Yeah. I mean, I'm hungry again now, but it's midnight. I'm not going to eat now. That would be weird.
Midnight snack.
It's
mac and cheese.
That's how we get gremlins, mate, okay? I can't be doing that. I've got, responsibilities to uphold. So thank you, Wolfie and Carthage. Thank you.
Responsibilities to your stomach to eat some mac and cheese right now. Do it.
I do like mac and cheese, to be fair.
Right.
But it's been a wild ride, and we've got GAC coming up again next week. 3v3, yay!
You mean instead of Stonewall defense and just check in to see if you can win with 3 battles?
Yeah, that's definitely the way. Yeah, sounds good. I can't wait.
But I'm not a content creator, so I don't have to worry about doing nothing for GAC.
Damn it!
Damn it! God damn it! All right, then. Without further ado, gentlemen, big love to you both. Big love to the tribe at home. See you all soon. Bye.